Welcome everybody to a special BDA Boxing transmission. This is your host, Mr. BDA, broadcasting to you live, as you can see, from the BDA headquarters. Let me just take away the chat real quick so you can finally get a look at it. Bucho and I decided that it was time to give you a preview. There it is. Look at how beautiful that shack is. It's gonna look better once I start getting done with the repairs. Look at that beauty. Oh, you could hide in there with a couple of bodies. Nobody would ever find them. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about just a little bit of a preview. The countdown to the big fight. The big middleweight unification. Is it a unification fight now? Wow, whatever it is. Glad that you guys could be on board for this. Just gonna take it easy here. Crank open your drinks. Cigars, vaporizers, whatever the fuck you've got. Let's chill a little bit here before the big fight. As you can see, we got the countdown on the upper portion of your screen. We got 2 hours until the official broadcast starts, I believe. I don't know if the zone, I think they start showing the undercards, you know, all the undercard fights at 7:30 Eastern time, that is. So who's in the chat room right now? Let me check. All right, so we got Jay Cleary, Johnny Boy, shout out to Johnny Boy, Box, The Shepherd of Sons, Triple JJ, Box 88, Sakib Rafiq, Azzy, Canelo giving my fight, shout out to Canelo, Nico Paz, Eric Rosas, Junior Smooth, and many more to come. Oh, Pete Stammes is in there as well. Jason Bourne, Michael Stott, Magic Man. Shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for joining us. I guess we ought to get started right away with the news from the day. And I'm just going to briefly surf some of the internet articles that we've got going on here. According to Dan Raphael, I'm not going to call him by his nickname. Well, the nickname people call him on the internet. Very boorish nickname and disrespectful. But according to Daniel Raphael, Daniel Jacobs has come overweight same day weigh, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know that. So let me just put it up here. I'm reading the Reddit thread, and there it is. Daniel Jacobs blew, according to Dan Raphael, Daniel Jacobs blew the Saturday morning check. So it was in the morning. That's what I wanted to know. It was in the morning or in the afternoon. Jacobs weighed in at 173.6 pounds. Golden Boy Promotions CEO Oscar De La Hoya told ESPN, contractually he was supposed to be 170, and now he faces a fine of $250,000 per pound, but the fight is still on. Canelo, on the other hand, was at 169. What do you guys think about that? Look at what the people are saying on Reddit. He's coming in huge, says Joe Doe Science. Smart move, says that dude. Smart move by Danny, to be honest. You got to take whatever advantage you can get, especially when Eddie offers to pay for it. That's right. Eddie Hearn, by the way, does not wear underwear. You've seen the video. We showed it here on BDA Live when somebody pulled his shorts down, and it turns out that Eddie Hearn likes to go commando. Like a porn star, like Stu says. That's really non-Christian of him. Talking about Eddie Hearn. To not wear underwear, think in the Bible it says something about having to wear underwear. But what do you expect from a heathen? Cool Hand Luke says, just the extra weight of having heart. Fresh Princess, a small penalty for a big advantage. Gonna make things interesting. So you can see people are having a bit of a conflicted opinion. I want to see what people in the chat room say, in our chat room. As he says, Jacobs is paying $1 million for his weight. She coming over says Jacobs is a cheater. Well, technically, they had a contract. They agreed that he should pay $250K per every pound over 170, and he's paying that price. So I guess the cheater word can be up for debate. I know the guys here on the Hangout were debating that last night on last night's podcast. Pete Bender says, no shit. Okay, Michael Stott says, Triple G has a new trainer. Yes, he has Vladimir Klitschko's trainer, Daniel Banks, I believe, from Kronk, who was a protege of Emil Stewart. Wasn't he also the guy that was training Adonis Stevenson before Stevenson decided to roll out of boxing? Junior Smooth says, Jason Bourne, I love you. I don't know, what the hell's going on? Johnny Boy says, me versus Dana White on ESPN pay-per-view. Box 88 says, Eddie Hearn talked him into it. Maybe. It's good to have good promoters, right? It's good to have a powerful promoter on your side. That way you can come overweight, pay the fines, pay the whatever it is, man. I mean, Eddie Hearn has a deep coffer, and he's certainly willing to pay for it. And I think this makes for a much more interesting fight, don't you think? I mean, come on, did we really want to see Daniel Jacobs dehydrated, dilapidated, dissuaded, deflated? I mean, I'm running out of synonyms here, but you guys know what I'm saying. Did we really want to see a subpar Jacobs, or did we want to see the best Jacobs possible? Delicious water. Not drinking yet. I'm going to drink today. Fuck it, why not? It's been a while. As he says, Jonathan Banks, Cecilia Brackus trainer. Chris K, shout out to Chris K, says, I think the question is whether Jacobs couldn't make good weight and hurt himself trying to, or he just said no thanks and feels better for it. It's a good question. Michael Stock says, the weight class is just the IBF rules. It's not really that bad. Yes, it's not. Okay, we got to get something straight. It's not the IBF. This is from a contract that Golden Boy put in place themselves. This has nothing to do with the IBF. From what I understand, maybe I'm wrong. You guys tell me. But this is what I've read all over the internet. Magic Man says, I think Eddie said he will allow Jacobs to come in overweight and he would cover the fine. Well, apparently that's what he's doing. Junior Smooth says, Dana White versus De La Hoya, make it happen. Even this fat, coked up De La Hoya, wearing fishnets and all that, would still kick Dana White's ass. Besides, Dana White is a guy that said in a podcast or something that he has some form of double vision or something, because he got the shit kicked out of him by some of a bunch of Boston thugs, I believe. Chalky Whites. What is the guy's name? The guy from Boston, the famous gangster guy. Johnny Depp played him in that movie. White something. What was his name, guys? Come on, don't leave me hanging here. Whitey Bulger, yes. Apparently, Whitey Bulger's people had a word or two with Dana White, and they kicked his ass. So what I'm saying is, do you really want to see half a retard Dana White getting the shit kicked out of him by De La Hoya, a former world champion and gold medalist? I don't. I'm not that much of a sadist. Jason Bourne says the Church of BDA includes Jack Daniels. Well, actually, the Bible says do not to drink too much, and I try to live by that. All right, so people are saying Whitey Bulger. Yes, thank you. All right, Nico Pass, you spelled Bulger, but you didn't spell it correctly. Bulger. B-O-L-G. The Church of BDA is in Canada, says Shepherd of Sons, and we won't go there. Hey, you're lost, man. You're lost. You think the syrup you get over there is the best syrup? Fuck that. We got the best syrup over here in Canada. Delicious Canadian maple syrup. And we use it for everything. We use it to wax our cars. We use it as deodorant. We use it as everything, man. It works. But it only works with Canadian maple syrup. Not with that fake bootleg Chinese shit you got over there in the United States and the rest of the world. Chris K said, Whitey's bulge. It's starting already. Shlomo, shout out to Shlomo, says the great Triple G, there was no rehydration clause versus the morning wear, blah blah blah. I think he's complaining about the Wayne. Look, let me address something here regarding this whole weight issue in the contract, because people, some people on this side of the hangout were saying that fuck Canelo for being a pussy. Some people were saying, nah, fuck that. Daniel Jacobs shouldn't come in overweight because it's not fair. Well, guess what, guys? We're all getting the best of it today because we're going to get a fair fight, or as fair as I can be, depending on which position you take. Do I think it's fair for Daniel Jacobs, though, to come in weighing at 175, 180? I don't know. I do want to say, though, let's go to... All right, hold on a second. So, one guy that I respect, a guy's opinion that I respect regarding boxing is Vinny Paz, a.k.a. Box Cutter Patsy, the rapper, not the boxer. And if you go to his Instagram, he's saying... Come on. Hold on a second. Let me just zoom in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. He says, Jacobs look mega drained to me, considering he rehydrated to 180 plus against Golovkin. I can't say I'm surprised. You have to wonder when and if it's going to catch up to him. Well, he posted this, he tweeted this, I think about 6:43 p.m. last night. Not 2 days ago, before the weigh-in. So now we're seeing what happened after the weigh-in, which is that Daniel Jacobs is going to be showing up at whichever weight he fucking wants. Because you got to assume that he's still gaining weight as the fight goes on. There's two different... Some people lose weight as the day goes on because their body is in such prime condition and it's been conditioned to burn through weight because of all the working out, that they can still burn weight through the day of the fight, especially with the nerves and the anxiety and whatever else these guys inject into themselves, if you know what I mean. So people in the comment for Vinny Paz are saying no one ever steals on anyone at weigh-ins anymore. He's saying nobody ever punches anybody else at weigh-ins. Danny should have hit Canelo with that Riddick Bowe Larry Donald work. The last guy that I remember trying to throw an actual punch during a weigh-in was Terence Crawford against Benavidez, and he missed. All Benavidez had to do was lean back. You gotta wonder, Terence Crawford supposedly was this big badass in the neighborhood, kicking everyone's ass. Couldn't even land a punch on a guy that was 2 inches away from him, so maybe Benavidez had those great reflexes. I don't know. Master of Disaster says it's gonna catch up to him tomorrow night. The rehydration clause is going to hurt him. He'll have to give up a lot of money if he wants to go over like he did against Triple G. Well, guess what? That's what he's doing. Another guy named JCL says he's a light heavyweight playing at middleweight. Shit's crazy to me. Hurt is another one. He's a super middleweight at 154. And Vinny Paz hasn't made a prediction yet. Curious to see who he's picking on that one. Very curious. So you can see the internet is alight on this whole thing. Hold on a second. I'm just looking for something else that I had prepared. Oh, yes, another thing. A little pet peeve of mine here. I'm getting really pissed off with BoxRec. Look at this. Every day of a big fight, you have to sign in to user service. Let me tell you something right now. I already signed up for enough shit that I don't like and that I don't need. Everybody's got my email address. Everybody's got my information. I'm not going to give it to anybody else. Maybe I should have given it only and to BoxRec and to BoxRec only. But guess what? You shouldn't be asking for my information just to use your fucking shitty service, all right? And yeah, I'm saying shady because of the fact that you're asking for my information now. I got a podcast to run here, you fuckers. All right? Cocksucking pieces of shit. They're asking me for login information. Go fuck yourselves. Shepherd the Sun says, you need a book like Bucha to take notes. The only book I require is the good old scriptures, the Gospels, Genesis, Exodus, Corinthians, Proverbs, and you all that good shit, all right? I don't need a book like fucking... Oh, but I will say this. I do have the notes, the predictions here. So let's go for the predictions just to remind each other of who chose who. Okay, so I'm looking at the list here. Apology picked Canelo by unanimous decision. Precise Canelo also unanimous decision, and he said it's going to be 7-5 for Canelo. Gonzalo says Canelo 10th round TKO. Johnny Boy Johnny says Canelo by majority decision plus 1 wild card. It's a good prediction. Recognize says Canelo unanimous decision, and he says there's going to be a knockdown. But I'm not seeing on the list who's going to get knocked down. I'm assuming he's meaning Canelo is going to drop Jacobs. Stu Little says Canelo by stoppage, 9th round. McGregor Boxing said Canelo 8-4, majority decision. Bucho said Canelo by unanimous decision. Boxing Style said Canelo KO in the 8th. And remember, Boxing Style said that the body shots are really going to take their toll on Jacobs and that Canelo's going to walk Jacobs down. And of course, Mr. BDA, the best prediction, Canelo by close decision, in which people the next day are going to say that Canelo was exposed, that he fucking stinks, he's a ginger cocksucker, and so on and so forth. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, the people are going to say that. They're going to use the F word and the J word and a whole bunch of other words. And by the way, something interesting somebody said in a message on the message board. Canelo's brothers and his father are all balding. They're all a bunch of balding cocksuckers. Except for Canelo. Now, some people are saying that maybe, just maybe, he's wearing hair plugs. I don't know. Now, some people are saying that if Canelo's on the clean and a whole bunch of other things, and he has balding in his genetics, how come he's not balding now? Which is what I tell you. He's probably using hair plugs. And that's just my little fucking theory here. G5 says, how boxing scene scamming? What? I do want to say something that Precise brought up last night. I was listening to the podcast, and look at this. You got Canelo, this is from his Instagram page, and he's got Chepo Reynoso and Chepo's son. Chepo's son, and you saw the shenanigans, right? You saw the shenanigans from last night. Canelo and Jacobs. All right, first of all, Canelo did not instigate that. From what I can see, he did not instigate what happened during the weigh-in. Or afterwards, rather. From what I saw, Jacobs started pushing him with his forehead, at which point Canelo pushed back, and then Canelo's trainers intervened, along with everybody else. My thing is, and this is what some people are speculating, whether maybe Jacobs' trainer said, you know what? Go out there, push him a little bit, get real close, lip to lip, as if you're about to kiss him, as if you're about to rub his balls, and really get under his skin so that, because Canelo's a counterpuncher. Maybe he wants Jacobs to come to him. I don't know. So maybe this is a part of Jacobs' plan to say, you know what? No, motherfucker, you come to me. Maybe they're trying to get under his skin for that type of shit. And, it wouldn't surprise me because Jacobs is the one that had Virgil Hunter as part of a duo of trainers when he fought Golovkin. He's also the guy that rehydrated a shitload and disobeyed the IBF law by rehydrating up to 180-something pounds a day of the fight. And he's doing the same thing. So Jacobs, it is apparent, is the type of guy that's willing to do whatever it takes to get an advantage. So is it really out of the question that they told him to go out there and get under Canelo's skin? Because there wasn't any bad blood before the fight. During the build-up, they were actually quite, not amicable, but respectful of each other. And all of a sudden, they pull this shit. Then again, these guys are trying to make weight. They can get cranky. Let's be honest. Let's be fair, rather. But I wanted to get on what Precise said about Canelo's trainer. What's the name of that? The young one? The son of Chepo Reynoso, the younger guy, the son. Anyway, he's the one that's always getting into fucking fights. He tried to get into a fight against Abel Sanchez. Now, yesterday, he's getting on Jacob's face, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you going to do? You're a fatso. It's like Precise said, this guy's getting into fights. What are you going to do? And also, that's the thing what Precise said, which is that if you're a fatso, don't wear tight shirts. Don't wear tight shirts. It looks bad. Him and his father, they're wearing tight shirts, pajamas too sometimes, tight sweaters. There's nothing worse than a tight sweater. It's short and you lift your arms up, that whole shit lifts up. Everybody can see your fat belly. It's disgusting. What is he doing? What are they doing?
This fat son of a bitch!
Exactly. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, man, but it's disgusting. And I have a theory now after what Precise said. I think the reason why Abel Sanchez got under their skin during the whole build up to the rematch is because Abel Sanchez one-upped them. He's also a fatso who wears tight shirts, but he tucks them in. He tucks in his shirts. He's upstaging guys like the Reynosos who think, oh, we're badasses because we're fatsos and we're wearing tight shirts. I think I'm onto something here. Let's see what people are saying in the chat room. Jason Bourne says, sit down, fat boy. Sakib says, maternity wear. Nopal says, I got a funny story about those skinny jeans. Oh, skinny jeans are the worst, man. John Gonzalez, shout out to John. It says, it's a Guadalajara thing, BDA. It's a San Francisco thing, if you ask me, from the looks of it. Pete says they look like an ad for weight loss clinic before and way before. That's a little reference to the Sopranos there. Hand job. That's how you know where my mind is. My goodness. Hand history vault says, when do the prelims start? I believe at 7:30. At least I didn't say blowjob. Gay blowjob. All right. Genjuro77. Shout out to Genjuro. It's been a while since I haven't seen him. He says, people that are thinking that the weigh-in was fake and scripted, geez, put on a goddamn brain. Gotta feel sorry for the people who have zero insight into human nature. So there you see, it's two schools of thought. Some people think it was scripted, and some people, see it for what it is. Two guys making weight, cranky. They're coming closer and closer to a fight where they're gonna try to decapitate each other with leather gloves. Come on. Sakib Rafik says, BDA, you've derailed the topic the only way you know how. I'm sorry. What do you want from me? I mean, 1 minute we're hugging and kissing over here, the next he's acting like a fucking jerk-off. What do you want from me?
I can't have it. I can't do it, Henry.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you.
I'm sorry, too. It's okay. No problem.
Okay, salute.
I had to play that. What else? Box says, we need Cameron's analysis. Shlomo says, brother of Julian Clary. Johnny Boy says, Junior Smooth is scripted. Good fight right there. John Gonzalez says, I don't think it was a scripted move. Johnny Boy says, BDA Boxing, she'll kill him, but she won't divorce him. All right, so getting back to this whole thing, I also want to put in here, Daniel Jacobs' Twitter is getting, not his Twitter, his Instagram page is getting flooded by Mexican people who don't believe in him. He put a picture of himself at the weigh-in. Now look at that. Look at the face is the one that does look like he struggled a little bit to make the weight. He looks a little gaunt, if you ask me. People are saying, fire, fire. And then this guy comes in and he says, I'm calling it. Danny feels he can't get a decision, so he'll have to engage and go for the knockout. That's when he will get caught. And it can happen in this sport, but I'm seeing Canelo stopping him in the 10th as well. And then he says, wait till you see the body assault, my friend. I have the utmost respect for Jacobs, but he has been put down against P-Rock, Mora, Triple G, Canelo. Canelo is accurate, so it has power, so I don't see Danny making it past the 10th. People say, let's go, Miracle Man. Another guy goes, Jacobs is up and coming. That's why I doubt Jacobs will win. Up and coming? This motherfucker has had a great resume for the past 3-4 years. He's one of the top middleweights. He's not an up and comer. If it's now or never for him. Danny going to show the world. Sip, pero ni sabe lo que le espera. Vamos México, says Tiffany. So you see, I'm telling you, the Mexicans are invading Jacobs' Instagram. Cestilo says, you are 10 pounds overweight. Why would you do that right before the biggest fight of your career? That's disappointing. Castillo, maybe you should just get the fuck out of here, man, because you don't get what we're talking about here. It's a smart thing. Dishonorable? Hey, there's nothing honorable about catch weights, A-listers deciding the weigh-ins, special clauses. Both Canelo and Jacobs are pussies for putting in these clauses and not respecting said clauses. For all I care, they can jump in the lake and do whatever the fuck they gotta do. I want a good fight. You know me, guys. All I care about is what happens in the ring. Unos putazos para que respetes, pendejo. Mexican style. Oh, yeah, speaking of Spanish, Bucho's obsessed with what happened last night in the weigh-in, and he's obsessed with what Canelo, the interview he gave right afterwards. Let's just play a little clip here.
We're very respectful throughout the whole.
By the way, the voice of the woman interviewing him is that woman from ESPN Español or TV Azteca or Univision, one of those. She's got short blonde hair. She looks like a rooster. Bit of a lesbo, if you ask me. But I'd hate it. I'd hate it. Anyway, this is her interviewing Canelo.
Motion. And all of a sudden this happens. How did this come about?
Tienen miedo. Eso es miedo.
All right, so they asked Canelo why did things get so heated? Why do you think he did? Why do you think Jacobs did what he did? And Canelo says because he's afraid.
Yo no tengo nada que decir. Solamente como lo voy a
All right, so now he says I don't got anything to say except.
decir en español para que todos se me entiendan porque es puro mexicano. Que chingue a su madre.
Mexicans love it when somebody swears. But I tell you, I'm Mexican, but I'm also a Christian, and I cannot condone that type of language. I just can't do it. So Canelo said, "Go f your mother" to Daniel Jacobs, and Jacobs reciprocated during his interview with The Zone. And by the way, those two guys from The Zone, I don't know what their names are, but there's one guy who looks like an Arab, and another one, he's a black guy, and they're both dressed as if they're about to go to the Copacabana. And one of the guy goes to Daniel Jacobs, yo, when you was in the hood back then, did you ever think? I'm thinking, come on, man, would you speak English properly, please? When you was in the hood. But anyway, that was Canelo, and Jacobs went right back at Canelo and said, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off. I'm not swearing. That's what Jacobs said. So you can see both guys a little pissed off here. A little pissed off. Dolores Guzman. Okay, now Dolores, I don't know. I hope it's a woman, because that type of fucking name. My grandmother's friends was named Dolores. She liked to sit in front of the coop and knit all the time. But Dolores, who has left a whole bunch of messages on our YouTube videos, long-winded, no punctuation, bad grammar. Dolores, honey, baby, you gotta step your game up, because this type of shit, I can't read it. And she said, by the way, she thinks we're Canelo haters. Didn't Jacobs cuss at him first because he didn't get the interview before Canelo comes first? I don't know why. Listen, I will say this. From what I saw, my opinion, Jacobs instigated it. He did instigate it. Because you see, Dolores, honey, baby, Munchkin, what you got wrong about me is you think I'm biased towards Canelo. No, sorry, Bob. I am not biased. And I hope you're listening to me, because I see you being sassy there in the chat room. All right, Pumpkin, you got to take it easy. I'm not against you. I'm not against your Canelito. I like the guy. I'm looking forward to the fight. See, she's trying to get under my skin. But you're still reading it. Well, of course I'm reading it. It's my video page. I got to read the comments. I'm a man of the people, and I speak for the people. Mr. Christian Man, she says, don't call me honey baby. Ah, come on, Pumpkin. Cupcake. I'll call you whatever the fuck I want. All right? And if you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. Dolores. Oh, by the way, I see we got Stu on the line. And hold on a second. Let me just play the intro here.
I wasn't bad though.
I told you what's going to happen to Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
All right. The one, the only Stu. Stu, are you here?
What's happening, BDA?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm glad to see you're still awake.
Yeah, fucking soldiering it out for the big one. Had a few cans, as you do on a Saturday night, and I'm ready for the big one.
Now, let me ask you, what's the protocol to staying awake for a fight of this magnitude? A lot of tea, a lot of coffee. How do you work it out?
Well, a bit of Colombia's finest, and coffee, and plenty of weed.
Doesn't that make you sleepy, man?
Well, nah, not really. I'm all right, man. I'm a soldier. When it comes to boxing, mate, I'll fucking stay up to as long as I have to, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, good for you, man. I wish we... Oh, by the way, Boxing Style is in the chat room. Shout out to Boxing Style. Boxing Style, we do have your prediction I don't know if you want to repeat it, but Bucho wrote it down from way, way back, and he said that you're picking Canelo by stoppage, and he's very impressed by your prediction boxing style because you're saying that he's going to walk Jacobs down and murder him to the body. So if you want to reiterate or change something about your prediction or boxing style, feel free to do it. Or well, we're going to get more people in the hangout, so if you want to come in because it's been a while. Stu, I wanted to ask you, man. The topic of the day is Jacob said fuck it, and he's going to be becoming overweight over the 170-pound contractual rehydration limit. And apparently he was at 173, and you can only assume that he's getting bigger as the day goes on. What do you think about this? Is this going to make for a better fight?
Well, I had a problem with this yesterday. You know, I was arguing with people about Jacobs. Just you don't sign up to a deal and then just change the contract as you go along. If you sign up for a deal, you stick to the rules. And Jacobs just does what he wants. I mean, you talk about Canelo being the golden boy here that does what he wants, but Jacobs does what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy wants to fight at 160, but he wants to come in at cruiserweight. So, I had a problem with it yesterday. No, I had a problem. I had a problem with it yesterday, and I got a problem with it today. At the end of the day, he signed up for the deal. He's getting $15 million to do it. Fight. He didn't have to say that. He could have said, "No, I ain't going to do that," and then so be it. But he signed. He said, "Yeah, I'll do that," and then. On the day of the fight, he comes in 3 pounds overweight, and 3 pounds is a fucking lot of weight, bro. When you're hitting weight limits, 3 pounds is a lot.
Now that's the thing, because you were having, and it was a great discussion, by the way, last night regarding the way whether Canelo was in the wrong, whether Jacobs was in the wrong for coming in overweight, or whether Canelo's correct in putting a weight clause. At the end of the day, what we have now is that Daniel Jacobs is coming in at the weight which he wants. He will pay the price. He's going to pay the iron price by putting in a couple of bucks in there. And at the end of the day, Stu, I think we're going to get a great fight, man. Because of this, are you changing your prediction or?
No, I'm not changing my prediction.
Okay.
I think it's just a bit of a. I just think it's a bit of a slimy move. You sign up for a deal, and then you back out on it, and then just do what you want on the day of the fight, where Canelo really can't say, well, fuck it, you're not getting the fight. It's the day of the fight. He has to take it. So he's stuck with a guy now that's going to be 190 pounds, and Jacobs is becoming a bit of a fucking diva, and where he does what he wants. I know $1 million is a lot of money. He's throwing $1 million away, but it's not about the money for me. It's about the fact that you sign up for a deal, then be a man of your word, and I don't think Jacobs has been that.
So you don't respect him a little bit for saying "fuck you" A side. I'm making this my side.
Well, no, because you don't sign the contract and then change it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like anything in life, you sign it, you take that to a court, you're losing in the courts because you've changed the contract. So
But he's paying the
only
price,
in
though.
boxing can you get away with that. And I'm actually, for me, I was actually rooting for Danny Jacobs, like to pull this off. But after tonight, then I'd gladly see him fucking sleeping on the canvas. To be honest with you.
Listen, I think this is good, man. I think this is gonna make the fight more interesting. Jacob's gonna come in the bigger, taller guy. He's skilled. Canelo's gonna be finally fighting somebody that's bigger and more skilled. We saw what Triple G could do against Jacobs, a big, fat, ripe Jacobs, and now we're gonna see what Canelo can do. So I'm very excited. I'm more excited than I was during the week of the fight. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I actually think Jacobs is actually hindering his chances by being too heavy, because I think against Canelo he's going to have to be very lean, light, and sharp.
Mm-hmm.
He can't afford to be sluggish, and and sloppy, because Canelo is very explosive, and I just think he's probably hindering his chances. With Canelo, you got to be fucking lean, quick on your feet, and sharp. and on the ball sort of thing. And I just think that coming in at 190 pounds, it's gonna affect his performance.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the speed of his punches, whether it's the speed of his footwork, it's going to affect his performance. And I just think that little, when you slow Jacobs down just that little bit, then you're in big trouble when Canelo's throwing his hands. And I actually fancy Canelo more now that he's going to come
Well,
in big.
I disagree on that, but I will say one thing though. Gonzalo makes a good point. He says, so if Canelo beats him now, will people still say it's a bullshit win?
Well, they can't do, can they?
Exactly.
Why would they do that? If you beat the so-called number one guy and the number three guy, then what is there to argue about? This guy's clearly a great fighter. Well, he's a great fighter anyway. For me, I've got him beating Jacobs tonight.
I was gonna give him
Round
props.
9 KO.
I was gonna give him props anyway for if he beat Jacobs, but now that Jacobs is coming in 100%, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be fireworks. It's gonna be fireworks. Stu, so you don't want to change your prediction then?
No, I'm quite happily to stick with my prediction. I actually think Jacobs is hindering his chances by being too heavy. Like I said, it's a different fight with Golovkin. Being heavy against Golovkin, you're talking about just pure strength and power and aggression, and you've got to be big and strong, and you've got to be able to hold him off and keep your distance. But with Canelo, it's not about that. He's more explosive. He's quicker with the punches, and I just think he's got more in his arsenal than Golovkin. He don't hit as hard, but I think he's just got a lot more about his game, and I just think speed would probably. Canelo usually struggles with people that are light on their feet and keep the distance with the jab. And I think with Jacobs being heavy, I think that's going to be a hindrance for him. But
I don't see how that's really gonna be a hindrance though. The weight. I mean, he's used to it. He looked pretty good at that weight against Golovkin. Golovkin. I'm just saying the name Golovkin because I know Dolores likes it when I say the name Golovkin. So Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs looked good against Golovkin at that weight. So what do you think about that Golovkin fight?
Yeah, it's just it's different sort of styles, bro. With Jacobs does his best work at mid range, and when he's throwing at mid range, he's Canelo's going to be throwing at mid range as well, and his punches are a lot crisper, a lot classier. And I just think if you slow Jacobs down a little bit, he's when you're second to the punch against Canelo, then it's going to be a horrible night for you. And I just think, I think when you look at the only guys that have troubled Canelo have been people that have been quick with their feet and quite athletic, like Mayweather, Lara troubled him, Trout, them sort of people, So I think Jacobs is, at the end of the day, he's cheating. He's fucking cheating. He signed up for what he is, isn't he? He signed up for a deal. I mean, when you throw $1 million away just to get an advantage, then it tells me that you're very desperate.
I wouldn't call it cheating. I would call it working around the rules or within the rules. What do you think about that?
But when Canelo does that, this channel goes off their minds. It goes out, they go insane out of their minds when Canelo tries these things. But it's okay for Jacobs to do it. I mean, not when he did it against Golovkin, though. No, that weren't acceptable. But
I think both guys
against Canelo.
Both guys deserve each other and their tactics. I think so. But wait, Dolores, Sugar Pups, we're going to be taking phone calls. All right, Sugar Bun. So if you want to call in and give us a piece of your mind, because obviously you got a lot to say, go ahead, honey boo. Call in, and we'll try to. You'll see, I'm not such an unreasonable guy, and I'll turn on the BDA charm and charm the pants off of you, because I know you don't wear a skirt. You strike me as one of those feminist types who only wear pants, and probably with a chastity belt.
Yeah, I get talking about me.
No, no, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about you, Steve.
I was going to say, I'm far from that, mate.
All right. Well, maybe you'll charm the pants off of Dolores. Good old Dolores. By the way, even if
Yeah, I mean,
Dolores,
I mean, I'm known for charming these old grannies, these old little grannies.
wait a minute, you think she's an old bat?
Well, I'm from that era where you taught to respect your elders, so I always get the grannies on side. So I'm sure Dolores will be on my side.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, because Dolores does sound like the name of some old crow that's just sitting around complaining about what people say about her main crush, Canelo.
Dolores sounds like some 85-year-old black woman from Detroit.
She sounds like she's from Wisconsin or something. I don't know.
No,
That's
Dolores
just
is definitely a black. It's definitely a black woman. She's got to be, because I don't know any white woman called Dolores. The
hold on
only
a
woman
second.
I know called Dolores are black.
I imagine this is gonna be Dolores in a couple of hours.
Whip out your cocks, come on.
Ah, no, Dolores. Dolores, what the hell, man?
He does not get it.
All right. So I'm trying to initiate the calls here. I need Bucho's last stamp of approval before I go on the air with the phone calls. You know what? Let's invite a couple of other people here. I'm hesitant of inviting more people because yesterday it was already kind of hard with Bucho moderating to get everybody together. Everybody wanted to talk over each other, so I don't know if we should do it now. Oh, by the way, let me just put on a couple of news here from the Twitter feed, Dan Rayfield's Twitter feed. Somebody says about Jacobs, he did the same thing against Triple G. This was expected. Veteran tactic. Stu, the thing that I'm getting the feeling you're caught up on is this whole issue of not what's in the contract necessarily, but whether it's right or wrong. And you're saying Daniel Jacobs rehydrating above 170 pounds, whether it's contractually obligated or not, it's not fair. Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the road I'm going down. I just don't find it fair. I mean, I know Canelo's weight bullied people in the past, but that's their opponent's fault for accepting it. At the end of the day, Canelo's being smart, and well, he thought he was being smart, but obviously Jacobs has took the fine. He's took the £1 million fine, and he's going to come in heavy. And it's just, what's the point of having weight divisions when people like Danny Jacobs are around? I mean, he's skipping in a couple of nights. He's going to skip 3 weight divisions. I mean, joke.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. It's one of the best fights of the year, I think, at least on paper. And all right, but okay, let me just check real quick. Your prediction was Canelo's stoppage. So how's Canelo going to do it?
Ninth round.
Ninth round, yeah.
Canelo's going to win. Canelo's going to win. This is how the fight is going to go for me. It's going to start where Jacobs is the busier guy in the early rounds. Nick in the early rounds, because Canelo don't do much in the early rounds. He has a look, doesn't he? It takes him a couple of rounds to get going. He sort of like ups the gears as he goes along. And Jacob, I won't be surprised if Jacob nicks the early rounds, but once Canelo starts up in the gears, switching to the body, them body shots, man, they're ferocious, and they're going to take a lot out of you. And even if you're 190 pounds, mate, them shots are going to hurt. So I think Canelo's going to slow him down, and once you slow Jacobs down, then I think at mid range he's quite vulnerable, because when he's throwing his shots, he sticks his chin in the air and he's there for the taking. Because even against Selecki, I just don't think Selecki had the inside game to punish Jacobs for his mistakes that he was making in the pocket. So yeah, I think Canelo just too classy. I mean, once he ups the gears, I think Jacobs is going to crumble eventually. I mean, I know Jacobs went the distance with Golovkin, but let's not forget Jacobs got sparked clean out on the canvas against Pirog, and I just feel
that's a good point.
This guy is vulnerable to a big shot.
That's a good point. The middle range. The middle range is where it's gonna really be bad news for Jacobs. Now you mentioned Canelo. By the way, I gotta ask you a favor. elaborate on what I'm about to ask you, and also if you could please read some of the comments from the chat room, because I have to take care of something for the phone calls. All right. So my question is, you mentioned Canelo's a bit of a slow starter. Would it behoove Daniel Jacobs to start fast to try and throw Canelo off kilter a little bit?
Yeah, I think you have to go at Canelo from the start. You have to put it on Canelo and you know and hope that the judges see it the right way. You know, it's very difficult to beat Canelo on the cards. Let's be real. I mean, you know, it really is. He's going to have to knock Canelo out, and that's a massive task in itself. This guy's got a granite chin, and I just don't see Jacobs having the power to stop him. So the only thing Jacobs can do is put it on Canelo early and try, and beat him up and make it clear. So even if he doesn't get it on the cards, the boxing public see who wins the fight. It's a bit like the Tyson Fury situation where even though he didn't get the decision, he got the love and affection off the people. And I think that's what Jacobs has to look for, because I just don't see him getting the stoppage.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting, man. That's interesting. All right. You want to read a couple of comments from the chat room real quick? Or can you even?
Yeah, I'll go through the comments. Hang on a sec. There's quite a few going down. It's quite busy at the moment. Let me just start. It's a lot of people trolling each other at the moment. Oh, Shepherd the Sun says fighting Canelo is not fair. I mean, the fighting a lot of people is not fair. Life's not fair, Shepherd. But in the day, Jacobs didn't have to accept the fight. No one forced Jacobs at gunpoint to take this fight. $15 million in the bank. It's not like this guy's getting the rough end of the stick, shall we say. He's getting paid well. And there's a chance in boxing, mate, you can take away all the corruption by getting the stoppage. So, let's not make excuses for Jacobs already. Get off me, son. It's only 100k per round. I don't know what he's talking about. Dolores. Oh, fuck me, Dolores. Don't know if you want to read this because she's a bit of a retard, this Dolores. Who is Triple G's? Who is Triple G's Mayweather? Who is Triple G's Mosley? Who is Triple G's? I don't know who the fuck that is. Who is Triple G's Miguel Cotto at the age Canelo was fighting then? Yeah, I mean, look, I've always been one for backing Canelo's resume. For a guy. I mean, when you look at, he's the same age as Charlo, basically. Now compare the resumes. Chalk and cheese. So I've always been one for backing Canelo Alvarez because he has fought the best, and you can't take that away from him. And he's beat some of the legends of the sport. He's got wins over I think he beat Mosley, didn't he? Cotto, fucking. He's got Triple G. Angulo. I know Angulo well. Lara. These are great wins. Canelo Alvarez got a far better resume than Golovkin, that's for sure. Let's go down now. The Fight Scout. I remember Fight Scout, the guy that's anti-DAZN.
Uh-oh.
The man that claims to be a boxing fan, loves the sport. Yeah, he's anti-DAZN.
Hmm.
I hope your free stream freezes on you tonight and you don't get to see it. Canelo Fight Scout says Canelo is an old man already. He's got an old Mexican lifestyle. I mean, the thing is, I don't think he's an old man. He's looking better as every time he fights, he gets better. He's looking young, fresh, strong. I mean, look at him. I mean, it's hardly an Eric Morales we're looking at here.
Right.
The end of his career, or a fucking, this guy's he's got years left. He's only getting better, so I don't agree with that.
All right, now listen. I'm gonna keep reading. I invited a couple of people over, so you're gonna be joined by a couple of people. But keep reading the comments or talk with the people when they come in. take over for me, please, too, and I'll be right
Yeah,
back. All
yeah,
right. All right. Thanks, man.
yeah. Vader D says Jacobs looked like a Holocaust survivor at the weigh-in. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm going to move on. I'm not going to read Magic Man's comment because he's not worthy. Jason Bourne says Angulo, laugh out loud. Stop it, Stu. I mean, Jason Bourne, the Polish guy. I mean, the guy, he seems to run everyone's fighters down. You know, he runs British fighters, American fighters down. You know, he runs Mexican fighters down. But I mean, when this guy looks to his Polish heroes, who's he got? Andrew Galata. Make have a word with yourself. You got nobody, son. I mean, the UK, we don't even actually buy punching bags in the UK gyms. We just get a Polish guy to sit there and get in the room. It's the same thing, isn't it? And it's cheaper. So I'll leave it there. Jason Bordanowski. Oh dear. Okay, now. Jason Bourne says, "Stop, Stu. You're just being mean to me and my brothers." Yep. I mean, you're the guy that sits there and tells us that. You know, he goes, "Oh, the Brits are bums," and He said the other day the Brits could learn a few things from the Polish. I said, "What's that? Getting their ass whooped." Do you know what I mean? I mean, how can you teach when it comes to boxing? You can't tell us nothing. Get in your lane, son, and stay there. This is the world boxing elite we're talking about here, and you guys don't belong. Apology Man says, Stu taking no prisoners tonight. You get it. You know that, but Trigger Happy J says, Paulie Malignaggi is the best heavyweight comfort pound in the world. I don't know what he's on about. John Gonzalez, no better punching bag than the Brandon Rios. Well, Brandon Rios was actually walking around talking like Riddick Bowe when he was like 25. You know, this go back and watch Brandon Rios when he was 25 had no more IQ than Riddick Bowe at 60, 50, whatever he is.
That's a good point, man.
So, yeah, I mean this is the thing with Rios. I mean, you can only fight like that for so long before brain damage kicks in and you slow down and you become a punching bag. And Rios is horrible. I mean, there's not one thing Brandon Rios does in a boxing ring that I appreciate. I think he's dreadful. I really do. Terrible.
When he was at
A punching bag.
135.
A punching bag with a Mexican name.
Uh-huh. You know what? He was a good fighter at 135 because he had a big weight advantage over people and he would bulldoze them.
Because he was 20 pounds bigger than them on the night.
Exactly.
Weight bully. Brandon Rios is one of the biggest weight bullies that I can think of. Trust me. He's a weight bully. As soon as he started fighting guys his own side, his own size, he started getting his ass whooped.
He was, man. He was a big weight guy for lightweight, and then all of a sudden, once he started moving up in weight, even against Alvarado, that's when things started getting bad for him. He fought a guy his own size, and he almost did not win that fight. Remember that one?
Yeah, I mean, I just got sick of Brandon Rios v Alvarado. Like, I mean, two bums swinging it out. Just not for me.
It was a good.
But I've just never been a fan of Brandon Rios. I mean, I think who was it he beat from? Did he beat John Murray up? Yeah, he beat John Murray up from the UK, didn't he?
I think so.
Brandon Rios came. Yeah, Brandon Rios came in about fucking 20 pounds overweight on the scales and was allowed to fight, and he bashed John Murray all over the place. And since then, I just thought weight bully, and he proved that because the minute he went to the division he belonged at, he became a punching bag.
He put on some entertaining fights, But at welterweight, which was his actual natural weight, you saw him. He got spanked. But I liked his moxie. I liked his
I
moxie.
just want to respond to Jason Bourne in the chat.
Yes.
Brits are quitters when they get hit. I want Jason Bourne to name the 5 best Polish fighters of all time.
Uh-oh.
Because I'll just mention Lennox Lewis, Calzaghe, and people like that. And I'll just name 2 for now, just to whet the appetite. But I don't want to hear Kowanaki's name. I don't want to hear fucking, I don't, even that bum that Hopkins fucking beat up at 50, Pavlik. I don't even want to hear his name. I mean, like I said, I could understand if you were Mexican or American trashing British fighters, but you're Polish. I mean, you keep our fighters. You Polish guys help build our fighters' resumes up because we beat you up every day of the week. Every card in the UK, you'll get an up and coming talent from the UK bashing up some pole. Splitting his eyes up, breaking his nose. You're very tough. I'll give you that. But there's nothing to be proud of being a punching bag, taking a beating, and that's what you guys are good at. So until you've got a Salvador Sanchez like the Mexicans have, until you've got a Floyd Mayweather like the Americans have got, don't come and see me because Kowanaki, Andrew Gallotta, and all them fucking bums are not cutting it for me.
Well, you guys saw the disclaimer. The Stu does not speak for everybody here at BDA Boxing, but the people like to try to get under his skin there, huh? Stu, I mean, oh, by the way, we got Jimmy.
Like I said, I don't mind if it's someone. I don't mind someone trashing British fighters if they've got something to come back at me with. But what's Jason Bourne got? I mean, I'm trying to think of all these Polish legends, and I just can't think of it right now.
Well,
they're not slipping off the tongue. Just put it that way.
Well, they're just trying to get under your skin, man. Come on, because they find it entertaining that you go after them, you don't hold back. So it makes for good. It makes for good podcasting. Now hold on a second. I gotta figure some shit out here.
2, 1.
Okay, come on.
Blog
What?
Talk Radio.
All right, we're live on Blog Talk right now. So if you guys want to call in, you know the drill. Let me just put on the. Hold on a second. Okay, that's all right. I got the number right up there. Hold on a second. Gotta get rid of the countdown here. There's the number in the green letters. Call in if you want. We are now live on Blog Talk, and so call into the number. We'll come accommodate you. By the way, we got Jimmy on the line. Jimmy, are you there?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Good to have you on board, man. Just talking a little bit here about the big fight, the big middleweight fight. It's going to be entertaining. And we were talking about we had this big discussion in the last 2 episodes, Jimmy, about whether Canelo's a pussy for having that weight class or whether it's Daniel Jacobs, especially now that it's come out that he did not respect the 170-pound clause. Is it smart? Is it stupid? Is it classless? What do you think?
Now, why was it was it a signed deal that he was supposed to make that?
Yes.
And he just blew it off?
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to go above 170 pounds.
So obviously he's going to be paying a huge fine, correct? I would imagine probably $250,000.
$750,000.
Canelo.
750,000 or 900,000.
So to him and his. All right. See, so this is you know what? To be honest with you, and I was sitting there thinking about, saying all the nice things I was going to say about his class. I do think the kid's a class act, but maybe it's the people around him. But this is the second fucking time he's pulled some sneaky ass shit. I don't care what you say. He never said nothing about not respecting the IBF clause until the fucking day before the fight.
Right.
Okay. And I'm sure he didn't drop, a fucking phone call over to Canelo and say, you know what? I'm not going to fucking bother that. You know the difference of the guy actually put his body, making sure he does that, hits that targeted weight, and then a guy who doesn't have to worry about that. That's huge. And it's just whether it plays psychologically or not, who knows? That would piss me off. Is that his attempt? Is he trying to get into Canelo, trying to get him angry? Because I would think his best way of being in Canelo, he's have to fight the way he fought Triple G. Keep him at bay, use his length, his size. So he's going to try to make him, lose his head. I don't know.
Stu, what do you think? All right, I think Stu's going at it. Yeah, people are going.
Think what, bro? Think what? What do I think about what?
Oh no, because Jimmy was talking about the weight making and depending on how on whether Jacobs really did struggle to make the weight. Essentially what we've been talking about the last 2 episodes. But Jimmy, Daniel Jacobs, I don't know. Did you see the weigh-in?
I know I did not.
All right, so just to recap real quick.
I've been really busy recently, so I haven't been. Yeah, I've been. Unfortunately, I haven't. To my own, I haven't kept up on things as good like I should.
To recap real quick, Daniel. By the way, can people hear me right now? Or
I can hear you. Excellent.
I can't hear you.
Was that? I don't understand. The fucking volume here is on Hangouts is fuck. What is this? I'm opening the camera. No, sorry
when
about that.
You asked me, can I hear you? I couldn't hear you.
All right, can you hear? Can everybody hear me? By the way, I want a big old yes. I want a big yes. Come on.
I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Hey, so Stu there too?
Yeah, Stu. We got Recognized. We got Johnny Boy. We got Gonzalo, and now we got
Jimmy.
Well, I didn't mean to carry me off, but I just wanted to say I heard somebody. You know what? When I hear that, when somebody says, "Oh, fucking try to trash a British fighter," and you know what it is? People don't think geography, don't think size of things. You can fit England into fucking New England. You know what I mean? It's not much bigger than that. We have a population so much. If you're talking about the size per capita, island, it's a tiny island. And for the amount of fucking world-class athletes, you talk soccer, you talk fucking, you know what I mean, all the sports they dominate in, then you throw in boxing. So to me, it's kind of just been like a dick. It's a dick move. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
We're a country, like you said, the size of fucking Boston, right? Yeah, go to the Olympics, the last Olympics, we were second in the medals table behind the United States of America. We were second.
That's impressive.
That's very impressive. Then when you go to Formula One, we've only got Lewis Hamilton, the best driver of all time in my eyes. It's tennis. We got Andy Murray. We got legends of golf that can continue. We're very competitive at golf. All the major sports. Cricket, we're one of the best teams in the world. Rugby, we're one of the best teams in the world. Our Premier League is the best in the world. England, our national football side is we're beating everybody, stuffing them. We've got young talent coming through. Look at the boxes we've got for a small nation. I mean, and there's this Polish guy that who's specialist. The Poles are specialists at losing. I mean, we even have to save them in the war. I mean, these guys are just specialists at losing, and this guy has a cheek to come in the fucking chat and talk to me about the Brits.
Well, let me just say this, Stu. Come on, Stu. Let me just say this, man. Here at BDA, we all know there are no nations, there are no races, there are no creeds. Everybody's accepted. Everybody's a child of the Lord. And I am the shepherd to guide you to him. Now, I wanted to get to something real quick because Jimmy didn't see the weigh-in. Jimmy, what happened was Daniel Jacobs stepped off the scale and then they did the old face-off, right? They did the face-off and Jacobs, contrary to what some people are saying across the internet, it was Jacobs who instigated a little bit of a confrontation by putting his forehead against Canelo's and pushing a little bit. Now, Canelo's a ginger. He doesn't take that shit, and he immediately pushed back, and a scuffle ensued in which a ring card girl was caught in between everybody. Eddie Hearn was laughing his ass off, and Michael Buffer apparently didn't notice, and he just kept on going, announcing the fight. And now there's some real bad blood. Some people are saying it's fake, some people are saying it isn't. Now Jacobs has blown the weigh-in, so he's going to be coming in at a more comfortable weight. Jimmy, do you think this is just theatrics to sell the fight, or do you think there might be some real bad blood between those guys?
I think at Canelo's level, he's just too prideful. He's not going to play it. You know what I mean? Imagine that phone call. Hey, you know what? We should get together. Let's act like we're really pissed. You know what I mean? Can you picture the Canelo? Get the fuck out of here, you goof. You know what I mean? I can't picture that. He'd be too busy focusing, getting ready to even entertain that. No, I believe, listen, they're agitated too. They're starving at that point. Their body's just fucking screaming for nutrition. But everybody, a lot of people don't know. You don't sleep good too. You think, well, at least tonight. No, you last any sleep, so you're tired, you're aggravated. It's a fucking put you probably to a lot. So yeah, no, I'm sure when he put his head there, and then now, oh yeah, I think that was more strategic for Jacobs. I'm telling you, I think they want Canelo to go out and try to put his lights out. That's what they're banking on. Again, that's what my theory is, and he's going to try to use his length and his size to keep him at bay. And try to ride it out and pick off a decision. I don't think he's going to try to exchange with Canelo, because Canelo will go to the body where Triple G didn't, and that will be a big difference. That will slow him down, in my opinion. Again, I could be totally wrong. This is just my opinion, for whatever it's worth.
Well, it remains to be seen, and I must say that I want to get to boxing style. Boxing style, are you there? Boxing style. Are you too busy eating cereal? Opening up another box of cereal?
Hey.
Hey, boxing style. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, a long time no see.
Yeah, people were saying, Recognize had the theory that you were arrested during the Tyson Fury fight.
Nah, man, I've been busy as fuck, bro. I'm still busy. I'm doing shit right now. I wasn't planning on getting on this, but
nobody cares. Just give us your prediction.
So you're surfing well, hold on a second. You're surfing the internet with one hand, then. You're surfing the internet with one hand, right?
Anyways, my prediction is Canelo by KO, and I'm happy with what Danny Jacobs did. He said, "Fuck you" to Canelo, 3 pounds overweight. Fuck yeah.
Oops, sorry.
That's what I'm saying, Gypsy.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Why not? I mean, like he doesn't have a chin, bro. Give him a fucking advantage.
You know what I said, bro?
Well, he was 3 pounds overweight at the weigh-in.
Apparently, that's what I heard.
He was 3 pounds over at the weigh-in.
No, at the rehydration.
But that's rehydration.
No,
let's say at the weigh-in, they have to hit
not
that.
the weigh-in, not the weigh-in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jimmy, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to catch up. Just like what? Really?
Yeah, Jimmy. They said he could go up to 170, and he came in 173. So it was the rehydration and all that bullshit. But here's my thing, dude. Just real quickly, I know we got almost a full house here. Look, Canelo's going to get a little bit more of a nod on the scorecards. Jacobs come over a little bit overweight. What the fuck? It evens the equation out as far as I'm concerned. And I think I still stick to my prediction. I got Canelo on points.
All right. Well, there you go. That's good. I want to get back to everybody. Because, again, I'm going to give you guys, I'm a merciful host. I will give you a last chance to change your predictions. That being said, Jimmy, I don't see your prediction in here. You want to give it a go?
Yes. I haven't given one. I actually haven't.
Come on.
Damn.
Time to step it up.
I just don't. I definitely don't see Jacobs stopping Canelo. That's off the table. That fucking gallon neck redhead ain't fucking getting knocked out for anybody till he later in his career. But let me see. I know he could definitely catch him, but the thing is, it all depends on the body work. If he if he digs to that liver early and often, slows him down, and gets him off his toes and gets him more flat-footed, and fucking when flat-footed people sucking oxygen go out a lot quicker than dudes up on their toes looking pretty. So I don't know. A part of me says fucking fuck it, I don't really care. So it's wrong. So it's not like I got any money on this. I'm gonna fucking go on the limb and say fucking I think Canelo's gonna I think it's gonna be the combination fight for him. I think he's gonna be the first to at this level right now to stop Jacobs. I think he's gonna stop him late in the fight. You want to slow him down and stop him around the 10th.
10th round?
Well,
all right.
Yeah, around 10th. I'll say 10th. No, let me say the 9th. I don't like fucking even numbers. I'm a weirdo.
That's that Irish.
I fucking never paid even numbers, dude.
It's most sort of Irish
Jimmy.
old wife still.
7-11.
Fucking great.
All right, now listen. Just want to remind people out there that we do have the open lines right now. The number's on your screen. So if you want to call Dolores, baby, honey pie, I know you're still out there listening. I know you think I hate Canelo. I don't hate Canelo. I'm a big fan of his skills. All right? So call in. We'll make up. We'll kiss and make up.
Boxing Styles. I was just messing with you, bro.
But by the way, can people hear me, by the way? Because I'm talking to Dolores here. It's very important.
Oh,
all right?
I don't take shit personal, bro. I was just messing with you. It's all good.
Can people hear me, by the way? Can people hear me?
Recognize. How you doing, partner?
Doing good, gentlemen. I'm doing really good.
What the fuck? Can people hear me, by the way?
Glad everybody healthy, man.
Can people hear me here? Can people hear me? Hello? I don't think anybody can hear me.
Oh, sorry.
Can you
I
guys
can
hear me? But
hear you. I was just being an ignorant ass.
oh, okay. I thought you could.
Yeah, you said something?
You motherfuckers. And let me tell you something. I have a good mind to kick all of you motherfuckers out of here. So yeah, just to be Sakib Rafiq says he wants us to take his prediction. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Majority draw, he says. All right. We do have a phone call, I see. So I need everybody to be quiet because otherwise it just remember guys, the people in the fucking hangouts, they can't hear, I mean in the phone call, they can't hear us properly, all right? So let's see. Hold on a second. Fuck, how do I work this shit again? All right, so I see the phone number is okay, it's some sort of from the South, Alabama, I think. I checked it out. All right. Yeah, hello. You're on the air.
Well, this is old Peppy from the South. How's everybody doing out there?
Ah, fuck.
Wait a second.
Do I take this call?
Yes,
okay, hold on.
Take it.
Let me handle it because I've heard a lot about this. I've heard a lot about you there, Southern guy. What did you say your name was?
This is old Peppy from the South.
All right, old Peppy from the South. Real quick, because we don't have a lot of time. The countdown says we got 1.5 hours left. What do you want to talk about?
What do you think I want to talk about, you mongoloid? I want to talk about the Canelo Alvarez versus Daniel Jacobs fight.
All right.
Called you a mongoloid.
He called me. Yeah. What am I? Jamie Munguia or something? Am I Jamie Munguia?
Oh my god.
That's right. That's right.
All right. You don't have to talk to me that way. I know you're an old man. I respect you.
You know it.
Okay, so. But you don't talk to me that way, you fuck. I'll say it. I know I'm not supposed to swear, but fuck you, man.
I'll tell you something right now. Last time somebody spoke to old Peppy like that, he wound up in a river somewhere. When I end up in the river, boy.
Don't call me boy, please, all right? Don't call me fucking
Hey,
boy.
I got a question for the
Well, hold on. I want to get to, because I've never spoken to this fucking guy, and I've heard a lot about him, and I hear he's a bit of a racist, so why this guy's calling me boy.
Once I get done with you, and knock you out, I don't just knock you out, I have my way with you afterwards.
You have my... He's a fucking rapist, man. What the
leaves his mark on his victims, if you know what I mean.
He's gonna have his way with you.
All right, just, you know what? This guy's creeping me out. Give us your prediction, all right? Let's make a prediction.
X-Men,
I know, man.
Yo,
BDA is gonna lasso you up and do something to you.
All right, let me just...
Let
me ask him.
On the phone. Were you in the film Deliverance?
Yeah, he's gonna tell me to squeal like a pig. Now listen, you gotta give us... You gotta give us your prediction, man. What's your prediction?
Now, let me tell you something right now.
Yeah, what?
Old Pappy never makes mistakes. Oh, no, sir, Bub. He made a big mistake a long time ago. Back when my friend, old Harold Johnson, wanted to fuck my wife.
All right, stick to the point, please. All right, man, come on. Stick to the fucking prediction time, old Pappy. Come on, let's go.
Well, my prediction's gonna be Canelo's got the judges in his bucket. He's a sneaky Mexican.
Okay, come on. Now wait.
He's a sneaky Mexican, he is. You know the Mexicans, how they do. Always sneaking around, always jumping fences, and trying to steal honest American jobs.
All right. What's your prediction, man? Come on.
I think Canelo's got the advantage here, but now we'll say, Daniel Jacobs, I will be rooting for that colored boy because you see, I fought in Korea. He reminds me of my good friend Harold Johnson.
Boy.
He's just like Daniel Jacobs. The aristocrat, of course. He wasn't as big or as tall as Daniel Jacobs, but he could back up points. I'm going to tell you something right now. I remember one time I called him the N-word. He hit me so hard in the face, I thought I was going to die. And after that, we became the best of friends. So I'm rooting for Daniel Jacobs, who looks like old Harold Johnson.
All right, so he looks like old Harold Johnson. Now, last question, because we got to go, man. We got other callers.
Whatever that is.
Are you going to be watching the fight? I mean, are you going to be drinking beer and some good old barbecue?
Am I prepared for the fight? This young fella's asking me if I'm prepared for the fight. What do you think, boy? I've been preparing for this fight for 89 years. Oh, yes. Put my wife to work, put my daughter Annabella to work, and I put her disgusting children to work as well in my kitchen. Now, let me tell you something. We got an apple pie cooling by the window, lemonade in the fridge, and we got fireworks at 7. By the time the zone starts airing the fight, whoo! It's going to be a great fight.
All right.
All right. He said.
What?
He said 89 years, didn't he? Damn.
I don't know what the fuck, man. All right.
Is that shit for real?
Yeah, hold on. All right, so we gotta go. I'm gonna hang up on this fuck.
He's gotta call in all the time.
I'm gonna hang up.
Is that for real?
Yes, he's for real. Now let me hang up on him real quick. Just, is this gonna be a great fight, Southern guy, or what do you think?
Well, let me tell you something right now, boys. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight.
All right, all right. I hung up. Thank you for calling there, old pappy. All right.
Yo,
The fuck?
you
Yes.
remember that song? You remember that song Sinatra sung back in the day, "Old Man River"? That was for that guy.
I believed he. Yeah.
All I know is, man, this guy he's got to call in all the time.
I would prefer he didn't.
Hilarious.
Well, let me tell you.
I would prefer
He's
he
like,
didn't.
he look like old Howard Johnson. The fuck?
BDA.
All right. Yes,
Hello?
Gonzalo. Yes, Gonzalo. Hello, man.
Yes, Gonzalo.
Yeah, Bilal Alkawi just got stopped brutally.
Who?
Canelo's a sparring partner. The Australian guy, the undefeated. Well, before this, he got stopped by John Ryder from the UK.
Oh,
Bilal
okay.
Alkawi.
I know what you're talking about, Gonzalo.
Yeah, Canelo's main
What do
sparring
they fight,
partner.
MMA?
No, boxing. Canelo's main sparring partner. Canelo Alvarez is his main sparring partner. The prospect from Australia, the undefeated guy, the 168-pounder.
Pete's the man. That's all I got to say.
Why?
Oh,
What
sorry,
happened?
go
He got
ahead.
knocked out by John Ryder.
John Ryder. All right. So thank you for
Me
keeping
too.
us up.
All I got to
Yeah.
say is Pete's the man.
Thanks
All
for
right.
the heads up, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up.
I
By the
wish I
way,
had some money on that fight.
if anybody's not going to be watching Canelo on the Zone, you're going to be able to watch also Beterbiev on ESPN, I believe. Now, you guys, let's talk about this real quick because I don't think we talked about it. Did we? Did we? The guy he's fighting, some Russian dude, I forget his name. I'm not even going to try to spell it, but he gave Marcus Brown a very, very tough fight.
He beat Marcus Brown, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought so. I thought he was winning that fight.
Yeah,
He might have even dropped Brown, but they didn't call it a knockdown. It was something like that.
We was just talking about this me and Recognize was just talking about this in the hangouts, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought he beat Brown too. It was yeah. I think
All right, hold on.
he'll give some.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt, Johnny boy. Sorry to interrupt, but Gonzalo, take away the picture from the fucking. Take away the picture. We don't want to any shenanigans because sometimes if you put video or whatever they take the stream.
We don't want to see you.
Yeah, no. Demonetize you, or they'll even suspend your live chat for like 90 days.
Exactly. So don't do that, Gonzalo. All right, sorry, Johnny boy. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, yeah, that I thought he beat that kid he's fighting. I can't pronounce his fucking name either, but he gave Brown a good fight. I thought he beat him. And Beterbiev ain't been active, so I think he's gonna have his hands full, man.
All right.
So for his career, better or not, I'll tell you.
Brown almost lost in that fight. Sorry, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was gonna say I think Beterbiev needs to fucking put a working on this boy to make it, to put his name in the, you know what I mean? Because seriously, nobody
Jimmy,
really talks about him, right? What is he, like 34?
Yeah, he's like 36,
bad,
I think. I think he's like 36, dude, 35.
Oh, is it like that? Oh, really? So he's like up around Triple G's age. Yeah, he's only got a few more really shots. So if he really wants to put his name on there where everybody's talking about him, because right now, if everybody starts talking about making elite fights at light heavyweight, I never hear his name get brought into it. It's always the other guys. So that's because he's been underwhelming. Nobody needs to see that you can box anymore, dude. If you can't break that, if you can't get out of that, fucking 1-2 bullshit, it's just it, man. He's got to go out there and maul this dude. He's got to get ugly.
Yeah.
For me to get interested in seeing him fight again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The guy's like, he's like Terry Norris. He can punch really hard, but he can't take a shot. That's how that guy is.
Well, something that's funny you say that. He definitely delivers punches like Terry Norris. The only thing I would say is let's see if he has a weak chin like that, because Norris did have you catch that boy, he went to sleep. There was a few guys that knocked him out. Not just the big punchers, not just like guys like Julian Jackson.
Simon Brown.
Weight class. Simon Brown put him to sleep.
What's that kickboxer guy? Not Troy Dorsey, but there was another one that knocked him down.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I also know he got knocked out by was it Marquez? Didn't Marquez knock him out? I'm not talking
Raul
about
Marquez, the announcer.
Yeah, the one that Fernando beat up.
Yeah, Raul Marquez. I think he dropped him. There's this kickboxer guy that dropped him as well.
Yo,
or beat him actually. I think.
Who was that cat Terry Norris got disqualified against like 3 times? I think he was a
I
Dominican.
don't know who you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
I think he was a Dominican, recognized a Dominican dude or something.
He probably was. I mean, I don't remember exactly. That guy was fish.
Yeah.
Yo, he was straight fish. Anytime he hit him, that boy would just fall down and be like, like it'd be a punch to the back of his fucking neck. I mean, don't get me wrong, Terry Norris did hit him with some shots that were illegal, but I think he was over exaggerating.
Trying to yellow belly his way out.
Yeah. He got 2 wins off of it. He got 2 wins.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Oh, I just got
I think. No, I was going to say Terry Norris, though, once he got clipped real hard, some guys can bounce back, but most guys, once you get knocked out viciously, like I say it all the time, it just goes out. You get put out easier and easier. Doesn't get, never gets better after you get fucking slept. So, that was always one of Mickey's things. Because you used to always say,
I always thought.
Yeah, it's like that analogy. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was interrupting someone. Go ahead.
It's just like that analogy you made. It's like that analogy you made, Jimmy, about Lomachenko displacing his knuckle. Like I had mentioned also, once you roll your ankle one time, it's very easy to roll it again, like when you made that analogy about the knuckle.
Your tendons stretch, they can pop. Yeah, you same thing with, you see a lot of hockey players, they pop a shoulder once and it becomes a thing until they get the surgery to correct it, because it can pop in and out. You stretch that
like the
tendon
movie Mel
and it
Gibson.
just you bang his blop it out. Yeah. So that's the thing. So some guys, and very few guys, but some guys can get clipped and just come back. Like Pacquiao got slept pretty good, and he's never got popped out like that again. So I think he, that might have been a real flash, but most guys, when they get stoved, they never come back the same.
Kind of like when I fell off the zip line when I was a kid. Now my ribs was all fucked up.
You fell off a zip line?
Yeah. When I was
no shit, huh?
When I was like 10.
How the fuck did you manage that? You fall out of the harness?
No, they didn't even have a harness on this fucker. I just did it anyway, and it was raining. I just did it anyway.
Wow.
It was raining and shit. I fell flat on my chest. It knocked me out fucking cold. It was pretty high. I don't know how many feet it was, but it was at least like 10 feet, bro.
Dude, I've done fucking zip lines that have been 100 fucking feet off the ground.
You say what, Gypsy?
I said, who's zipline? Your father's?
No, it was at some fucking. I don't know. I was at like football camp or something. I was at like football camp or some shit. And they took us to like some fucking thing.
All right, so I must ask then, one last time, because I'm hung up on this. Anybody want to change their prediction?
No, I'm sticking to my 10th round TKO.
All right, so let me just reiterate then the predictions. Apology said Canelo unanimous decision. Precise said Canelo unanimous decision, 7 rounds to 5. Gonzalo said Canelo 10th round TKO. Johnny Boy said Canelo majority decision. There's going to be one white scorecard.
I like how you guys call him Johnny.
That's John Gonzalez who came up with that shit. Recognize says Canelo unanimous decision. There's going to be a knockdown in there. Oh, by the way, Recognize, when you say a knockdown, I'm assuming you're saying Canelo's going to drop him.
I'm going to change it. I'm going to say there's going to be 2 knockdowns. I'm going to say Jacobs is going to get a knockdown as well. He's going to knock Canelo down.
Now that's
down
big
goes
news.
Jacobs.
Down goes Canelo.
All right, so that's
gonna happen, bro. Sadly,
we'll see.
It's gonna be a good fight. I like that. I know the panel doesn't like this, but me personally, I like that Jacobs is gonna be heavy.
That's what I said, dude. Yeah.
All right, let me just finish reading the this, and then we'll get to that. All right, because I haven't heard from everybody regarding the weight issue. Stu Little said Canelo stoppage 9th round. McGregor Boxing said Canelo 8 rounds to 4 majority decision. Bucho said Canelo unanimous decision. I said Canelo by close fight. Boxing Style said Canelo 8th round KO, I believe he said that. And then Jimmy's saying Canelo late stoppage 9th round. All right, so guys, talk about. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the weight that Jacob said. Fuck the weight. What do you guys think?
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll go from there.
All right, I'll start. Hey, listen, I mean, he's done this before. We know it. And look, Canelo needs to stop crying. He goes into that ring, 180s. Yeah. Like, stop it, man. They just look, man. Canelo's gonna fight him. There's too much money on the line. Canelo's going to fight this guy. He just wanted to see if he can. I think they kind of knew he was gonna break the rules, right? These little stupid rules that they throw in there. Mm-hmm. I think he knew he was gonna do that anyway, but he was gonna see if he was gonna, do the right thing. So that way, maybe in his mind, he feels like, look, when he's really big, he has an advantage in terms of like endurance and or absorbing punches. I'm gonna see if I could get him to like 170, and then fight night, he's around, when he's coming in the ring, he's somewhere around 178, 182, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now he's gonna be somewhere in that range of close to how big he was against Golovkin.
185, 185-ish.
180, 185-ish. I say 180, more towards the 180s. And I don't have a problem with it because Canelo comes in at 180. Canelo comes in. Now, if Canelo was like naturally a little guy, and I saw this guy trying to do that, I'm like, damn, he's just being an asshole. But because Canelo's always in the 180 marks since he was fighting in fucking 155, don't tell me he wasn't at least 15 to 20 pounds heavier than Cotto come fight night. I mean, it was just, this is not a big deal to me. But I don't think it's enough for Jacobs to do what it's going to take to win in Vegas, Cinco de Mayo, Canelo Alvarez, and the whole nine,
Well, that's kind of what I said to recognize. That's what I said. I said,
all right. Sorry about that, Johnny.
I says, yep. Go ahead, BDA.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just real quick, John Gonzalez, shout out to John, says, shout out to Jimmy. All right, thank you, John, for your contribution. All right, other Johnny, go ahead,
Johnny
please.
boy, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. I got a pinch for a fucking Dewey the other day, but I'm good.
All right, so yeah, Johnny, please finish what you were going to say because we got a phone call again, so.
No, I was just gonna say, like Recognize says, it's not that big of a deal. Fucking Jacobs coming in a little bit overweight. Mm-hmm. Canelo's probably got a little bit of leeway with the judges, so it kind of evens the equation out, in my opinion. Like, fuck it, dude, it ain't that big of a deal.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean,
okay,
we'll listen. We'll see what happens when it comes to the fight. The Jacobs did look a little, like I said, a little gaunt yesterday. So hopefully this will do him some good. Real quick, we got a phone call 209. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up? It's Nopal.
Hey, Nopal, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
I guess
good, thank you.
The thing that I was thinking about, and I don't think you guys have mentioned it, is, I mean, 173 is only like 3 pounds over the IBF rule, so it appears like he tried to make the weight but couldn't. I guess like he went overboard probably. Because why even waste your time with it? I guess it's because of the money penalty. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think he actually tried to make the 170 but missed it, or he just didn't feel good at 170?
That's actually a very good point because he's a big middleweight, and it's been rumored he's had hard time sometimes getting down there. So that would make sense because he's getting old. How old is he now? He's got to be in his 30s, right?
Yep.
Christ, I don't even know. So yeah, so that man, there's certain times you just changes your body. It's not gradual with some dudes. It's overnight. All of a sudden, you just can't get that size anymore. Your body just doesn't allow it, and that's who knows. Maybe that was it. Because if he was going to blow it off, why even get down to 173? Why not come down? Because you know what I mean.
Look at it this way: Eddie Hearn will pay for it. It's all good.
Yeah, but that's a good point. I was writing in the chat earlier. I just found out. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hey, Pete.
How y'all doing, on, brother?
Good.
Hey, when the show went live, I don't know, half hour ago, whenever I heard from BDA, I heard the news, And 173 and a half, that's a good question. That's I mean, sincerely question. So did you guys think that is that his normal rehydration pace from yesterday's weigh-in? He just said, fuck it. And whatever it comes out to be, when I scale in, whatever I am over, I'll pay.
I don't really
or is
think
it that
normal, rehydration.
he overhydrated last night and he didn't want to shed that 3.5 pounds this morning, the day of the
All right.
fight, you know?
Well, hold on.
No. He's not working. Yeah, let me answer to that.
All right.
Once you make the weight, and let's say he went over like he did, okay, you're not gonna work out again like that. You're just gonna try to relax and then just warm up right before the fight. You're not gonna put your body through any more strenuous situations. You're gonna rest. What he did, he just he overate or he just purposely did it. You know, he purposely did it because he can still make 170, because if he made 160 the day before, there's no telling me that somehow he did it accidentally. You know, because if you made 160 the day before because you had to, because the fight was on the line on the scales, well, the same thing could be said about the following day. The fight was on the line on the scales again, but hence there was a penalty for every pound, so you could still get away with it and have the fight not be canceled. Just you just pay a penalty.
Right.
So obviously he did it on purpose.
Yeah, you don't lose the
he
belt.
don't lose the belt.
You just all you do is lose the money. But my thinking now that you've explained the whole thing out, like he made the 160 the day before, he cut his frame is so big, right? I think then it becomes a thing. Now that's when the fucking trainer sits down nutrition. Okay, you weigh him in the middle of the night. I'm sure he got up with a piss, jump on the scale. Okay, now we're at this roadblock. Do we stop rehydrating and do damage to the body, or do we say fuck it? Does the cost outweigh the negative? Do we put his body through continuing to fucking because it's screaming for because when you're just that big, it's crazy. And to say people don't, I've seen people just blow up, like go up 15, 17 pounds by just eating a fucking jar of plant raw fruit and a stack of rice cakes and a couple of gallons of water. They absorb it like a sponge. So it's nuts. You know what I mean? So maybe that is what happened. Maybe it wasn't a mental game. Maybe it was just that's all his body can do. And he said, fuck it. I'll pay the money because I want to keep the strength.
Well, you know what, Jimmy? Jimmy? I just have to give you props. You just summed it up. Nobody could have said it any other way, a better way.
Oh, no, hold on. Let me just get to Nopal because he wanted to. All right,
Thank you, brother.
We do have another.
Quick, hey,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to share that. By the way, I mean I don't know how much interviews you guys watch, but I saw an interview. And I used to get a little annoyed with Triple G fans for trying to say that Jacobs was like 195 or like 190. You know, I thought they were always exaggerating, but I believe in an interview he finally disclosed that he was at least 185. You know.
Oh.
So he might even be lying about that. He could have possibly been 190,
yeah.
Which I never believed before when you guys used to exaggerate about it, you know? I don't know
if you
guys caught that interview. I think it was, somebody was asking him, or he was explaining
Paul, are you going to be upset
like,
if he gives Canelo a good fight? You know, you're going to blame it on the weight? Or he happens to beat him?
Look, hey guys, look, the way I look at it, the way I look at this is that he's going in for a fight. He's not going in there for a paycheck. Okay?
All right, but hold on. Let me just get to Nopal.
That he can beat him.
All right, Nopal, we got another caller, but I want to get your prediction. Who do you think wins this fight?
My prediction is basically a unanimous decision for Canelo. I don't think there's going to be any knockdowns. I believe Jacobs is going to use a lot of footwork, just like Lara. And this is why I'm going to tell you real quick why I believe this. Because, when people hit the mitts, they always stay flat-footed and they're hitting the mitts. It's all about hitting the mitts. But I seen a video of him hitting the mitts, but he was incorporating footwork into it, like backing up and then hitting it, backing up and then hitting them. And the guy was following him. So, I mean, who hits the mitts like that? It's always something like, you stand there in place and try to slug it out with the mitts. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
I mean,
it might sound stupid, but that leads me to believe that he's gonna use a lot of foot movement. He's gonna try to create a lot of space.
I don't think it's very wise, Nopal, to base your prediction on the mitts, especially when it's the press day mitts where they just shooting the shit and just doing the spectacle.
Also, you know what? I mean, it's just one thing, but there's another. I mean, they're flip flopping on when they ask them. they flip flop a lot on how they're gonna fight because they're like his coach said, well, boxing is hitting and not getting hit. So I mean, when they start talking like that, you start wondering, well, and maybe he's trying to throw Canelo's game plan off, but I believe that he's gonna try to stay away, because he's more of a mid-range fighter, so he needs that distance to get good punches in, But I hope it's more of a fight like Triple G Canelo too,
I hope so too, man.
Because
I hope
think
so.
Canelo will get the knockout easy, but it ain't gonna be an easy fight for Canelo. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it's gonna be easy, man. I don't think, and I think that if Canelo does stop him, he's gonna have to walk through fire, and it's gonna be a great fight. So, Nopal, thanks for calling in, man, and thanks for your prediction. We'll talk to you tomorrow, or when we're not ready, we do the next episode, the post-fight interview. I mean, the post-fight podcast.
All right, guys. You guys all have a good one. And
All right,
the
you
fight.
too, Nopal. Take it easy. Enjoy the fight, man.
All right.
All right.
Let's see, recognize Gonzalo. Órale. Everybody else too, and,
all right.
Mexican camaraderie right there. I don't know. Solidarity.
Órale, no, Paul. Don't worry. Canelo's going to win somehow.
All right. Let me just take another call real quick because we have somebody on hold. I hope it's Dolores. 910, you're on the air.
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me okay, first off?
Yes. Hi. Is this Michael Stunt?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry to disappoint you, man. This is Steven Schneider.
Oh, Steven, man. Good for you. First of all, good of you to call in.
Mr. Schneider.
I got to be honest. I'm a little disappointed that it's not Michael nor Dolores. I wanted to talk to my Dolores and make up with her, but obviously she doesn't want to call in. Steven, first of all, thank you for your contributions, man.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for your support, by the way,
Go
Steven.
ahead. Somebody was saying something.
Yeah, I was just going to say thank you for your support throughout the month.
Thank you. Yeah. No problem, man. No problem. You know what, man? I have no problem supporting this podcast, man. You guys are awesome. I can't remember the other one, but you and another one are my favorite. And I spend more money on more dumb shit that's, it's nothing really. But
well, there's nothing
that's
dumber than
thank you, though, man.
That's
really nice of you to do that, though.
I've been commenting and talking shit in the comment section for so long. I figured I'd call in and put my 2 cents in the audio form.
Well, first of all, your comments are always insightful and funny. And if you're gonna spend money on dumb shit, might as well be dumb BDA, because I think this is the best dumb shit you're gonna find on the internet. All right, Stephen, what do you want to talk about?
Well, first off, before I say anything, man, I got to give my shout out to all my homies, man. Recognize Stu,
right.
Jimmy, BDA, Bucho. Sure, I'm forgetting somebody. Fucking all my homies in the chat, man. Shlomo, Gonzalez, Shepard, Quags, all those dudes. All the BDA regulars. You guys are great.
Shlomo, Burgerstein, the witness.
Man, this dude, you got the stuff on lockdown. You're making me feel stupid. Like, man, he knows more about. Maybe he should call in.
All right, so sorry.
Shlomo.
All right, so Steve.
Bergenwitz.
But forgive me if I'm a little tipsy, so, if I'm talking over someone. I know there is a delay. I've noticed it.
Yes, it's to be expected.
Man.
It's to be expected, a bit of a delay, but thank you for giving the shout out to everybody. Everybody appreciates it, and everybody here in the hangout, in the chat makes part. Everybody makes BDA. They're all part. It wouldn't be the same without everybody. It's a holographic concept. The whole of BDA is included in every part of it. So, thank you, Stephen. What do you want to talk about? First of all, can we get your prediction on this fight, on the main event?
Actually, yeah. I called it. Like, I didn't want to keep it long and stupid. Yeah, my prediction is pretty much what I called, other than the shout outs and, the support and everything. But, just one point before I do say my prediction is that, I think there's an old adage that people forget about is, you have to take the belts and or whatever from the champion. And that's something that we don't like. A close decision in my eyes should always go to the belt holder. So, if Jacobs doesn't come in here and really put it on him and win this convincingly, he may not even deserve it. I'm old school, I guess, but he needs to win it convincingly. A perfect example would be his fight with Triple G, where he kind of boxed smart, he fought in spurts and everything. That shit is not going to cut it here. So I'm going to go with Canelo. I think Canelo might break him down, man. I'm going to get ballsy and say 9th round stoppage.
Oh,
Nice.
All right.
I
so
got
that's
somebody. I got a partner in crime. Thanks, Steve. It's me and you, kid. We'll ride this beast all the way.
Well, I said
I think.
I said
I'm
ninth
sorry,
round
but
stoppage.
I think
You too?
Canelo's
Nice.
trying to
I'm
prove
there with
something
Stu
in this
again.
fight.
Stu, me and you,
Yeah.
kid, and Steve.
Yeah, I said that, but Schneider wants to have a go at me, and he wants to fucking pop shot at me every fucking comment I make. Yeah, he seems to agree with everything I say. Amazing.
Hey, I said this like
I
98
break
years
Stu's balls,
ago.
but I actually agree with
98
him like
years
most of the
ago.
time.
If you flip it, it's the mark of the
Hey,
beast. You guys are
boxing
devils.
style, you don't do predictions. Boxing style, you don't do predictions until you've seen the six pack. So get out of here.
Hey man, that helps out, bro. That's the mathematical problem right there.
Oh
You
man.
gotta solve that shit.
If you flip it, you can re-up with some money in your pocket.
All right, so we got Stu, we got Jimmy, we got Steven, and we got actually boxing style. You said 8th round KO, I think.
Don't
Yeah,
be
he had to go
surprised.
out one ahead of us.
Don't be
I
surprised.
saw that.
No, I'm not trying to. I didn't want to pick a round, but don't be surprised if it ends up finishing quicker than that.
Well, I won't be
If
now.
he catches him really, yeah. If he
Now that
catches
you
him with
mention
that sneaky left hook of his to the body or to the face, damn man.
Well, if you do
Yeah.
pluses and if you do pluses and negatives, look at this. So Jacobs has been saying for years it's getting harder and harder to get 160. So this is nothing new. In fact, this I think is actually showing that he didn't, hit the weight. Whereas Canelo is hitting his, maturity growth in his butt muscle frame, and he's gotten better every fight. The fact that he came forward on Triple G to me says a lot, and a lot just as much about his physical skills as it does his mindset, because that's another whole beast coming forward on that dude. So that shows. I mean, I think that he's going to bring it to Canelo. Canelo's going to bring it to him. I don't think he's going to wait for. I don't think he's going to let it be like fancy. He might just like film out a few rounds, but I think he's got that sick body shot, and I think he's going to lay it on him. And I just think he has too many pluses: the age, the fucking muscle development, and everything else. I think it's going to be a crescendo for him tonight.
Steven.
True.
Anything else you want to say?
Hey. Not really, other than I'm actually probably just gonna get off and start pounding some more beer. But
Get off and pound. That's what
I
you're
guess
supposed to
one
do.
more thing would be that I just want a good fight, and I'm afraid that I hope I'm wrong, but I'm afraid that maybe Jacobs is going to come into this fight with a copy and paste style from the Triple G fight, and that's what I'm worried about. I don't want him moving around. I actually, look, man, my heart wants Jacobs to win. My mind is basically telling me, Canelo is going to take it to his ass. But
Same here, Steven.
I hope I'm wrong.
Same here.
And, we'll see.
All right. And I got to assume, Steven, you're not cheaping out on the zone, right?
No, I locked it in at $9.99, so I'm straight, man. I ain't paying $20.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. It's like you got on the train before they started rounding up everybody to send them to the other train.
Exactly. As soon as I heard that they were, because I was doing that thing, like I canceled for like a month or two, and then
Right.
I found out that they were going to hike it up to 20. I was like, fuck it, I'll keep it at 99.
Exactly. You got to get on the boat before the other one sinks,
yeah.
man. All right. So shout out to Steven.
Yeah, but hey, man, shout out to everybody.
Shout
If I
out,
missed
Steven.
your name, hey, I'll see you in the chat. But keep it up, guys, and appreciate all the entertainment and the. Anywho, man, fight night, baby.
All right. Thank you, Steven, for calling in. Call in again and enjoy the fights.
Good call.
Yeah. And keep
All right,
keep
later,
trolling me
guys.
and
I'll
keep
see you in the
agreeing
chat.
with me at the same time, Stephen. You're an asset to the channel.
Praise the Lord.
All right. That was Steven Schneider. Canelo wants us to. Canelo wants us to take his prediction. He says, hold on a second. Canelo by unanimous decision. All right. So I'm writing it down.
All right.
I can't write everybody's prediction,
You
but
with
I'm
me.
gonna.
Canelo's with me on that one.
Praise Leviathan.
Hey guys, I gotta say something. Bucho said he was telling me earlier today that he thinks Jacobs because Steven said that he thinks Jacobs might come in with the Jacobs plan. He hopes he doesn't. But Bucho told me the same thing. He thinks that Jacobs is gonna come in and he's gonna after he tastes the power, he's gonna just stay on the bicycle. I'm curious. Do you guys think he can win a fight that way? I mean, forget the scorecards. From what happens in the ring, would it be the smart tactic to get on his footwork a little bit and keep Canelo from the outside? On the outside,
he should try to keep some range and use his jab. But look, if he's gonna fight off the back foot, be defensive most of the time, he's not gonna get a decision over Canelo. It's not gonna happen. You know?
In my opinion, bro, he's got to fight off the back foot, but he also has to take it to him in spurts too, bro. Like he can't do one thing. He's got to mix it up some. You know what I mean?
Well, he's left his last 4 fights on the table. Really, he lost against Golovkin. He beat Luis Arias in a lackluster performance, and he got 2 not controversial but close decisions against Suleki and Deryachenko. So you tell me, like, the last 4 fights haven't been really like he's trying to make a statement at all. So is he gonna do anything different? Can he do anything different? I don't think he has a confidence in his chin. So yeah, he's gonna do that. He's gonna go on the back foot. He'll fight in spurts, like Johnny's saying, and he should do that in order to win a decision. But will that be enough? Now, if that happens, are they gonna cry robbery if he doesn't do sufficiently enough? You know, I don't like to think. I'm just gonna say this real quick. For me personally, I don't want to hear. Not that I don't think it can happen, because everything's possible in Vegas, like that with the decisions. I don't want to hear about, well, if it goes to a decision, Jacobs is not gonna get it. He's gonna get robbed, because I feel that we should cross that bridge when we get to it, because it just spoils the fight. I don't want to be pessimistic. You know, I just want to enjoy the fight. Now, when that happens, because eventually the fight's gonna come to an end here in a couple of hours, we can talk about if that happens or not. You know.
I just hope it's a war, man.
We need one. The sport needs something good, dude. The most exciting thing what's been happening in the sport is the shit going on outside the ring, and that shouldn't happen. You know, when's the last time we were like, wow, that was, you know, I mean, those 2 little fucking meatballs went at it pretty good, but you know what I mean? When they're the size of your daughter, it's just not the same. And I'm not taking away from their skill. You know what I mean? I'm not taking away from their, and I'm not taking, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to.
You know what's funny, Jimmy? Like, they're literally the size of my daughter.
yeah, dude, they're 122-pound dudes. And it's just when it gets below 135, it's just not the same. And I'm not saying I'm a heavyweight freak either. My favorite's middleweight. That being said, Canelo needs to stop him. And the reason why because Canelo's at that precipice where he's not going to be an all-time great. If he doesn't knock out some of these fucking greats, 20 years from now, people aren't going to be talking about him the way they talk about Marvin Hagler. Trust me. One thing when it happens, plus about getting old, you start seeing trends. You notice things. Guys who don't stop their big opponents fade in memory.
Yeah,
and I think he
agree.
needs to stop somebody.
Yeah, there's too many decisions been going both ways, Canelo and Jacobs. Somebody's got to.
There's squeaky decisions. He barely. All right, listen. I don't think he beat. I know he didn't beat Triple G the first fight, and I would have scored the second a draw.
Exactly.
Okay? So,
I think it'd be said
you know
about
what I mean. And the other one's Rocky Fielding. Come on, please. Hey, he needs to fucking. But I rate Jacobs a definite top middleweight, and if he stops him, boom, his name's in the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
But if he beats the crap hold on. Sorry, recognize. Sorry to interrupt. Just real quick, shout out to Steven Schneider who contributed via the super chat, and he says, "May we all see a war tonight." I concur with Steven Schneider. Hopefully, we'll see a fight.
Amen. I hope
so
too.
Thank you for the contribution, Steven.
But Jimmy, if he beats the crap out of him for 12 rounds, I'm still gonna give him like some props. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like those knockouts are memorable. Like those are the ones we remember, and you're right about that.
Not to put any age on you, dude, but you're getting some wisdom. You understand, right? Like when you go back into YouTube, right? When you look up a Hagler fight, most of the time it's the bang outs, right? It's the fucking Mugabe. It's the ones the Hearns, that first round. That first round. Remember that fucking? If you go back, you look at that first round. Like I tweeted out about this fight coming up because somebody, I think Coppenjinger said it was gonna be. It's the next. Fucking Hagler Hearns. I think they made the comparison. So I tweeted out the exact the first round in its entirety, and I said if the whole fight, if all 12 rounds, mimics this first round, we'll be lucky because that's the problem. You know what I mean? Seriously, we need a war. Because it would just be better for the sport if. And I wouldn't take anything away from Jacobs. to me, it's not as, if you're going to get on your bike and just avoid the fight all night, you know what I mean? You just want to survive, but pick off enough shots, hopefully enough jabs count where you point them out. First off, you're not going to take a Mexican on fucking Cinco de Mayo in Vegas. It's just not going to happen. It'd be an insult to their
crap
fucking.
out of him.
Yeah, you're going to have to fucking, and it's not going to happen. I just don't see it happening, but anyways.
Yeah, because he said it in the way, and he's going to fucking kick his ass and bust him upside his head. And I hope he does that. And, they really looked like they had some intense energy going on between the two of them. I would just say real quick, I heard it somewhere else. I'm just quoting what I heard. That's not a good idea that the Canelo should be doing what he did to Jacobs, because he did it to Triple G too. I know you believe that Jacobs was the one that instigated, but when you're bumping heads like that in the weigh-in, you could very easily get cut. And it's very dangerous for that to happen, and just have something happen.
Dude, Gonzalo, when I got in that fight on the porch in Milwaukee that one time when I fell on the steps and cracked the back of my head open, dog, it looked like a fuck.
How many times did you fall and crack yourself up, dude?
Oh, bro, I've had a rough one, Jimmy. But yeah, dude, it looked like a fucking murder scene over there, dude. It was fucking, And I beat the shit out of the kid on top of it, so there was his blood and my blood all over.
Hope you get yourself tested, man.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, Johnny. That when you bump heads like that in the weigh-in, you can get cut.
Oh yeah, no. There's been a ton of fights that have been fucked up because of a knuckle punch has been thrown too. You know what I mean? And you end up fracturing a knuckle. I mean, you can look it up. There's been some championship fights called off of stupid shit.
No, yeah, the heads,
being played, headbutts too. Yeah. Plus, guy putting your head. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But if he, I haven't seen it yet. But did he put it in and then kind of push onto his head too? Because if he did that, that's he's trying to antagonize
in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, you don't know how hard or how reckless your behavior, what it can cost you.
That's fucking. And I think honestly, to me, that's Jacobs. And the only thing though to recognize is when you talked about the beating for 12 rounds. So the only thing that's the reason why to me that sounds not kind of anticlimactic, because it's not going to happen. Because say if it is like he's catching a beating, Rozier isn't going to let it go 12. You know what I mean? Like if he's taking a pretty good whopping 6th, 7th, 8th round, and it's starting to slow him down, he's catching shots, and and he's got that glazed over look, because he, and you try, look at me, hey, how you feeling? Oh yeah, fine. Trust me, that fucking towel's coming in. He's not going to let him fucking take a whopping if he can stop it. Put it that way. If it's a cumulative thing where he's really starting to put it on him, and he'll listen. Trainers like Rozier, I think I got my issues with him. I think he's a definite bigot. He's one, and it sucks because I think he's a fucking fabulous trainer. Again, I think he's one of the better trainers. I like how he talks to his fighters. I like how he handles most things with fighters. But he's made comments, and I don't want to even get into that. But no, I think he knows his fight as well, and he will know things that we won't see, just on how he's reacting to the punches. He'll notice how he's reacting, and he'll go from there. But I don't see him letting him take a whopping for 12. So I think he'll end up throwing a towel, and it'll be kind of like, and especially after fucking seeing, Khan quitting, it's just like, come on, the sport needs a fucking, go out in your shield, dude. You know what I mean? Plant that front toe and go. You know what I mean? Do it. I'd have more respect for the kid fucking, if you know what I mean? Throw it down, dude.
But it's interesting, Stu, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I think a couple of episodes ago when you were here, you were talking about Khan and that he quit, and that you talked to Mickey Ward a bit after the fight. And I remember Mickey Ward, they interviewed him for Ring Magazine in 2005, because there was a period in the summer of 2005 where Jose Navarro, I think it was, quit, Costa Tszyu quit against Hatton, Abdullayev quit against Cotto, and I think there was another guy that quit during the fight. And in the article, they were asking about when is it okay to quit. And they asked Mickey Ward, who was training fighters at the time, just starting to train fighters. And he said, if a guy ever quits, if one of my guys ever quits, I'm taking him backstage, I'm taking his gloves off, and then I'm kicking him in the balls. Do you think the standard...
Look, man, look.
Hold on. My question is...
Finish that, BDA?
Yeah, my question is, should we, as boxing fans, have high standards for when a guy should quit?
Absolutely. Because you're disrespecting the sport to quit. Because listen, it's fucking, you're already taking a beat and go out and if you get knocked out, really, it's just, Yeah, no, and Mickey ain't lying because look at he had his hand broken in the. I can't stress this enough. 4 or 5 fights, I believe it was 5 in the first, no later than the second round. I mean, Tuck folded his right hand. Every bone in his right hand would fold like an accordion. Everybody in the auditorium, the other fighter, the fucking ring girl knew his hand was broken, and he wouldn't. And we'd be like, Mick, stop, stop, yelling, just stop, fucking. And after his face is all swelled up, like, dude, fuck him. Fuck him. You know what I mean? That was always his attitude. So he's not the right guy to ask that because you know what I mean. He had reason to quit and he wouldn't. So he's. But then again, look at him now. You know, sometimes he knows he's paying for it. He's not stupid. But
Boxing style. You wanted. Hold on, Gonzalo. Gonzalo. Before you continue, because he was boxing style. Want to say something, and then we'll get to Gonzalo. Right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna say Khan's situation. Even though I think Terrence Crawford was gonna finish him eventually, but he didn't really quit. It was the guy when you watch the video. He comes over. He's like, "Oh, we're stopping the fight." Khan never said anything. Like the motherfucker's like coming up to the referee. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna stop the fight." I forgot it was one of the workers over there. I have no idea. In Dallas, what was the fight taking place? In Texas? What was it? What was it? I forgot the place.
I think it was New York, Gypsy.
New York, yeah, Madison Square Garden. I got it confused with the Spence fight.
But Styles, some fighters will. There's a code. You'll tell. I know my grandfather used to always have something. If a kid wants to quit, so you don't embarrass him, so you don't have to say it.
Yeah.
If you want to quit, if you're taking a beat and you don't want to say it, when you're walking back to the fucking round, when you're walking back to your stool, scratch the back of your head, or rub the back of your head, rub around to your kidney. So he knows that way when you sit down, he'll just talk to you and then, he'll say something's up. But just saved you that embarrassment, especially back then. It was a huge thing.
It'll make
Hold on. Gonzalo wanted to.
You know what I mean? Most guys will have a clue. They have something they'll know. You know?
All right. Let's just go to Gonzalo and then we'll get to Johnny Boy. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
No, well, yeah, that's coming from Mickey Ward himself, what you stated, Jimmy, and I agree. Because that's a fighter right there. He's got the experience. But to counter your point, BDA, on that statement as well, there's people that believe, like Bernard Hopkins, also said just recently that you can get hit to the head, and you can recover from that. But when you get hit to the body, or it's a low blow in this case, when you get hit, in your private parts, it's very hard to recover from that. So I don't know what you guys think about that. I know he didn't get hit square in the balls, but anyhow.
No, man, that was on the hip. That was on the hip. That all the pressure that was on the hip. And I hated cups. I used to wear a hockey cup. I used to get in trouble for it because I hated those boxing cups because they do pinch you. But listen, no fucking way did that put him out of that fight. There's just no way. He wouldn't have been sitting there all fucking man spreading at the conference. He'd been on a bag of ice. If you pop a nut that hard, you're gonna get. It's always up and under. You've all seen good nut shots. It's never just off the hip and it's, I can't. He would have been on his fucking knees. I've taken some nut shots. No way. Yeah. He absolutely was looking for a way out. He was taking a beating. And when he said that, listen, everybody knows, no, I don't quit. Because you've never had to. It was never an issue. Most of the time, you've always been winning the fight.
On your back sleeping.
You were always fucking bang, bang, bang. And then it was just, you fucking fell in love with a combo and you got caught and you went out. So it was never a dogfight. He never was the slowest, sloppier guy catching a beating. That was the first time in his career. That's why he said those stupid things after the fight. He waited a couple of days. Well, he was starting to slow down. Like, it goes to show he has no self-awareness, dude. Like, none. I don't know, man.
Just get in.
Hold on. Let's get to Johnny Boy.
Hold on. Saddam Ali has just been stopped.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Yeah, he just got fucking his ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, they was talking about this guy like he's some slickster. I mean, I think I'd rather watch Saddam Hussein than Saddam Ali in a boxing ring.
Wait a minute. He got stopped.
Who had the privilege of knocking out Saddam this time?
I didn't hear. Did he get stopped or did he get disqualified? I didn't hear.
No, they threw in he got stopped by the referee.
Yeah, man.
Boom.
I was gonna say though, to Jimmy's point, yeah, I've been hitting the balls and sparring too. Like I say, when I was like 15 or 14, I was sparring this fucking kid named Charlie, and I wasn't even going. They took my thumb, Charlie, but they fucking, I fucking, he hit me in the, he hit me in the ball. I wasn't even going real hard with him or nothing, and he hit me in the balls, dog, and I fucking was like, you fucking cocksucker, and then because it hurt, but I I fucking laced him up, and then they seen him at school a couple days later. He had a couple of shiners and shit, and he was telling all these. They're like, what? These chicks in high school are like, oh, what happened to you, Charlie? He's like, oh, I got hit in the eye with the fucking baseball at the park or something. I was like, fucking bitch, yeah.
Oh yeah, you told that. Yeah. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
Yeah, I have an interesting theory. Like, look, I don't know that on that side of the leg, which side it is, but I think you got that big artery. It's called the femoral artery that runs through the side of your leg. No, wait, just wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. You got the femoral artery. One time when I was in the military, look, I got karate chopped on my neck, and that's where that big vein runs down through the side of your neck, and the blood, it cuts off the circulation. Yeah. So I got karate chopped by a ranger guy, and I got knocked out. You know, I got a pretty sturdy chin, but when I got karate chopped to the neck, it stopped the blood flow through my brain. So I was just thinking, if you get hit on the inner part of your thigh where that vein runs, it's gonna cause the circulation to be
This is my area. I'm working on that shit. Your femoral artery is way too deep inside for that to be. That's the thing we're talking about. It's a little more superficial it's closer to the outer part of your your skin area, pretty much. It's closer, but it's not that close.
If you get hard enough, that's just a theory.
Listen, hey, what's boxing style? The fucking Armenian Steven Seagal.
Hey, Gonzalez. I'm sorry, I was moving. No, I can explain that, how the reason why that wouldn't happen, just like Style. He was 100% correct. Your artery down in your hip is so deep. That's the reason why kids get shot. They can be talking you think they're going to survive, and then they're in the surgery and they bleed out on the table because they can't reach that artery. It's deep in your pelvis and shit. So listen, the reason why you get out, when you get whacked hard enough in the carotid artery, the open fucking artery in your neck, the reason why you go out, it's an instant shock to your brain because it's right there. It's a shock. It suddenly stops the blood to your brain, and if you do it quick and hard enough, your brain is a very sensitive organ, and anything touches, if it touches the side of your fucking skull, it automatically goes to save itself, lights out, boom. So you go soft, so your body doesn't crumble. It's a self-defense mechanism. It's all tied in, but that's the reason why you go out in the carotid artery. There's nothing. You can't get punched in the hip carotid artery there. I mean, in the artery down in your hip to knock you out or to stop you. That wouldn't happen.
I mean, there's YouTube videos on that shit too, but for femoral, femoral.
Okay, thank you. But just a theory, man. But yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah. Chris K in the chat room. Chris K in the chat room is referencing Black Hawk Down. Isn't? Yeah, I think that's the scene where this guy gets sharpened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but yeah, they were trying to pull it out of me. They were saying, "I got it." They were trying to clip it off.
Yeah.
Listen, my brother was he was lucky. He was in a motorcycle accident. That artery got cut, and it was a kid. I swear to God, I would have thought he was going to. Boston Medical. They wheeled him in. A black kid. Felt terrible for him. He's like 19. He was talking on his cell phone. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to wheel me in now, mom." Up. Next thing you know, they're in the room next to us because my brother was fucked up too. Listen, they're wailing, crying. I'm like, and the doctors in there like the kid bled out. And I was like, oh. He goes, we couldn't get to the artery. I was shocked, and so that made me look into what's going on. But my brother was lucky, and the doctor said when they opened him up, when they slit him, he said it exploded, the blood everywhere because it's deep in your bone there, and it's horrible. But anyway,
a football player got killed that way. He got shot because remember a bullet's different. He got shot in his leg, but it hit that main artery, and he bled to death. That's the only gunshot wound he suffered.
Was that
that was in the inside? That was the inside of his back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But punching somebody there, you're not going to do shit there.
And you know that artery in the inside of your thigh? I'm sorry, but that artery in your inside of your thigh, that one's different story though. That one was close to the skin. A good fucking hitman, a good murderer. I'm telling you, you're in the bathroom pissing. They'll walk right behind you, take a straight edge razor, give that thing a nick. No shit, give that thing a nick. Man. 90 seconds, you're dead.
Of course, you're gonna die. Like the guy, the football player died.
You wouldn't even feel it. It would almost be a tingle. You'd be like,
football player bled to death. He died on arrival. He was dead because he got shot in his, in that main artery. He was gone.
DOA.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, we got
a nick.
Audio.
We got audio. A nick, and you wouldn't even feel it straight and sharp enough and a good clean cut. You'd be like, what the fuck? You'd actually feel the wetness running down your leg before you'd feel the cut. And by the time you would realize, you would get lightheaded, and then boom, done.
Oh man, that sucks.
That sucks. Yeah, that sounds awful.
That football incident? Sorry, BDA. That football incident recognized? That road rage incident?
No. There was this kid who played football. I want to say in the early 2000s, and he lived in Miami. and some guys went to go rob his house. He was there, and he got into. I think he got into a shootout with them, meaning he had his gun and he shot back. But the guys who did it, one of them let off a shot, and it hit him right in that main artery of his thigh, and he bled to death. Like he just, he died. By the time usually you get shot in the leg. If you get shot anywhere else in the leg, normally you would survive unless you bleed to death. But this was a very nice neighborhood in Miami where he was living at, so the cops came there quickly. I mean, they caught the suspects like trying to escape, and they just couldn't do nothing for him. He was dead. He was a goner.
All of this started because Gonzalo had his theory about Amir Khan got hit in the femoral artery, and this whole shit started. And another
Sorry,
thing.
I start going the mafia route. No, I'm telling you, know why the old adage? Usually back in the day, you would never see dudes go to the bathroom by themselves.
Right.
Because around here in Boston, kids want to fuck you up. You're the best if you're back, you know what I mean, facing a urinal, come up, slip you, boom, done. So we'd always have someone watching your back. So
yeah, that's how you know everybody gets stoned over here.
That's a good thing. We have Doctor
Stoned.
We have Doctor Boxing Style now.
What's he style talking about?
Boxing Style is a doctor now, man. He does everything.
I am a writer, a doctor, a nuclear physicist, a theoretical philosopher. But above all, I am a man.
He said, Gonzalo, let me step in here. This is my field, okay?
Go ahead.
That's how he dismissed Gonzalo. He's like, yeah, don't worry about this. I got this. Let me tell you about the artery in your neck.
Yeah, he talked about the neck. What the fuck? And by the way,
that's what happened.
We got audio of Gonzalo. What happened with the karate chop? Hold on a second. Is it here?
Hi, fucking yeah!
All right. What the fuck was that? By the way, before we continue, we got a phone call. 714. You're on the air. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, fellas, this is Quags.
Oh, the Quags. How you doing, man?
Oh, shit,
How
Quags.
are you guys?
What's up, Quags?
What up, Quag?
What up, dude?
Talk to us, brother, man.
He's on a delay.
All right, well,
believe.
I guess I'll get to it. I'm going to say it right now. I think Canelo takes Jacobs out in the 9th round TKO, and I'll tell you this. I think if Canelo jumps on him, I think it could be a quick stoppage. Like if he knocks him down, then he, you know what I'm saying? He goes to get back up, and then just any kind of output after that, they'll just call the fight. So I think it could be controversial possibly in the end, but I'm calling 9th round TKO.
9th round TKO, and you think that if Canelo jumps him, he can take him out early?
I could see that.
We got
He's already been knocked out, right? Once you've been knocked out, that's a different animal in your head. Like Mickey would always say, I've never been knocked out, so I don't know what it's like to be. That's a thing in your head to wake up and have everybody looking at you. Dude, you all right? You all right? You're like, you know? So
we got 4 9s, which equals 4 times 9 equals 36. We got 3 6. We got the mark of the beast on the show.
Come on, that's Puerto Rican. That's Puerto Rican witchcraft he's talking about.
3 6 Mafia.
That's Puerto Rican Santeria.
That's a Santeria, yeah. All right, so Quags, are you one of the people that's terrorizing Stu in the chat room? Because I don't see Stu. I think he left. I hope it's not because you guys were sexually harassing him.
No, it's I poke at Stu, but Stu's all right. I actually like Stu a lot.
Everybody likes him.
He's a really good personality for you guys. Actually, he has a really sarcastic outlook, and I like that personally. So I dig Stu.
Absolutely. We all.
Yeah, no, Stu's great. I like him too, man. All you guys, man, fucking crack me up.
All right, let's not turn this into a jerk-off session.
I'm trying to show a little love, man.
Hey, Stu is blushing on the other side right about now.
All right, so
his other side of the cheeks.
Oh fuck.
BDA, have a question when you get time.
Yeah. But let's just get to the Quags. Quags. So you got a prediction. You're pretty confident in it. How about?
I'm fairly confident. I think he'll knock him down, and then I think once he gets back up, Canelo will jump on him, and I think they'll call it. But it could be controversial. That's all I'm getting at.
All right.
But I want to ask you guys a question, though. I want to ask you guys something real quick. What do you think's worse right now? The weight discrepancy between Canelo and Jacobs, or the discrepancy between Canelo and Khan? Like really, when we looked at them on fight night, I think if I recall, Khan rehydrated 3 pounds, and Canelo again didn't show his next day weight. Like what
he
do you
was
think
180
here? Like what are we like? I almost can't believe this guy at this point, because if you think about it, on top of that, he didn't have a title when he fought Triple G, and so he didn't meet the IBF. They got rid of the IBF rehydration clause for that fight as well. He didn't have any title. That was supposed to be for unification fights. So like this guy is dodging all kinds of stuff. He's been heavy. He's the whole damn time, and now he fights a guy that's bigger than him, and it's like, nah, I'm docking you at $250K a pound or some shit like that. I could be wrong on that figure as well, but I'm sorry.
I agree.
You guys go ahead. I want to know what you think about that.
Who wants to take that one?
I don't like the day before weigh-in. Oh, I'm sorry, Bito. Go, brother.
No, go ahead. I was asking who wanted to take
No,
that one.
I was gonna say I don't like myself personally. This all ties into the day before weigh-in. Remember, this was put in place for fighter safety, right? That was the fucking, because of course everybody has to change everything. But back in the day, listen, Jacobs would be fighting at light heavyweight, minimum light heavyweight, if it was the same day weigh-in. You know what I mean? You don't get that night's sleep, which is so what it costs, man, driven by his insecurities and his ability to manipulate every situation, has fucking now got it to the point where they're starving themselves to look like skeletons on days of weigh-in and then blowing themselves up. When I was at the Garden, I ever saw Jacobs climbing into the ring. When they took I was like, look at his shoulders. What the fuck? I'm like, this is a dude who's learned to take advantage of the day before weigh-in. He's the light heavyweight in there. So, yes, I just don't like any of it. I wish there was the day of weigh-in, and it would keep everybody honest. You would have middleweights fighting middleweights, you know what I mean, yada, yada. But I'm old school.
True.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Who
that's like
wants...
wrestling, Jimmy. That's how the wrestlers do it. But I don't. We know we ain't gonna get it, right?
Well, never say never, man. The Olympics, remember what I know it's it's not professional, but they had that new style from 1988 after Roy Jones got robbed. And finally, what was it, the last Olympics or before the last? They finally went back to the old style. So maybe there is hope for same-day
Or
weigh-ins.
if a couple more people die or like get really sick. Didn't somebody recently try to make a weight and they had to cancel a fight and then he was real sick? And there's been people who have died because they've tried to make it because they're trying so hard to manipulate it. Because again, same day weigh-in, you don't you would never stress your body to that limit. Because imagine being that weak at 9 a.m., knowing you're going to fight at 9 p.m. that night. No way. You're going to come in a lot healthier. You're going to try to do all that targeted shit the day before, but blow up, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Because of that, it's going to take somebody dying to try to manipulate the system, and people are going to say, all right, these guys are fucking around too much. Let's move it back. That's my hope, but I don't want to see anybody die for them to have to do it.
Well, what does everybody else think about that same-day weigh-ins? Is it ridiculous, or is it actually better to get people fighting in the weight they're supposed to be fighting at?
I think some states still have same day weigh-ins. Like Pennsylvania, maybe if they've changed it, it's only been recently, but they still do same day weigh-ins. I think some state commissions still do it.
All right, recognize. You want to say something?
I've always loved the same day weigh-ins because I was a dude that I can't fucking cut weight. I just couldn't cut weight. That's just not gonna happen. So
your body's telling you.
Yeah. No, like I could remember when I was fighting. When I was fighting in the amateurs, they were like 165. I was like, because I'm a $170, I could make that. Like 5 pounds. But other than that, I couldn't like drop like 15 pounds back then or anything like that. So same day weigh-ins are cool with me.
Well, there you go. That's one point of view. That's one point of view.
You know what?
I think they're better off too if they would just. I'm sorry, Gonzalo. One more thing. I think these guys would be better off if they like just focus on. Okay, how about dropping just 10 pounds from your weight? Like, if you're a guy, if you're Danny Jacobs, and I know a guy like Jimmy and Pete, and maybe all you guys know better than me, because like I said, I never did it. if a guy's coming in the ring on fight night, let's say 180, what's his walk around weight like when he's not fighting?
When he's not training?
When he's not training, what is it, 190?
Relaxing, maybe 200.
Relaxing, chilling, or not.
Well,
Okay,
maybe 200.
It's kind of a mathematical thing, you think. So you kind of figure out, well, you see him out. Does he have veins in his, like, say, 3 months out of a fight? Does he have veiny forearms? So is he a lean dude? How much body fat does he carry? Because usually on fight night, counting the fat around the intestines, and if he's got abs, which Jacobs usually does, you know what I mean? He really has to lean down. If he's 180, then that cut up, you're going to add at least another fucking 15 to 20 pounds on top of that.
Because at 180,
so probably 200.
Assuming he's 180, 185, a lot of times when he goes in the ring, he looks pretty jacked up. He looks pretty, he's got the boxes. So I'm saying to myself, then fight at 175.
Exactly.
Fight at 168. 168.
Look at Kelly Pavlik now. Look, how much is Kelly Pavlik? I know he's probably been lifting weights and shit.
Oh, Kelly Pavlik looks like he looks 220.
Do you know why? You know why he doesn't, dude? Do you know why he doesn't? We found out when he got clipped by that Russian kid. Think about it. If he was going in, Jacobs be fighting better Bievs and the fucking Kovalevs right now.
That's what he's looking at, of course, and I think that's
you know what I mean. He doesn't want to put his body through that.
I think you're 100% right, Jimmy, because it's all about. I think for these guys, it's all about punch resistance. Now, look, I never found out. People warned me, like, yo, listen, you cannot. I was going to turn pro and fight at 190, which was the cruiserweight limit back then. They were telling me, you're crazy. You're not a 190 guy. I'm like, the fuck you talking about? I walk around 200 pounds. They're like,
How tall are you, dude, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh?
How tall are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I mean, I'm 6'2". I was probably 6'2" back then. I mean, yeah.
So you're right around the right height. So it wasn't a height thing. Yeah, I was wondering, I don't know if you were like 5'10". I'm like, yeah, that's why, because you were too short. But yeah, no, 6'2" was the right height.
Yeah,
they just said your strength and whatnot.
They were looking at it like, you're fighting guys who are naturally they were telling me, like, you're going to be fighting guys that are naturally 225, 235, all muscles that can boil down. I'm like, nah, I don't believe that. These guys are not fucking that big. And I met some cruiserweights, and they were that big, bro. When they were fighting, I was like, a guy who wasn't a cruiserweight, put it this way, Lou Duval, right? You guys know Lou Duval?
Yeah, he dropped him.
Yeah. Okay, so Lou Duval, I met him. When I met him, I sparred with him. I was like, I think I could take this dude. I sparred with him. He hit me with a stomach shot. I couldn't breathe. Literally, I could not breathe. Because he was, even though I had him in height by like a good 2 to 3 inches, I'd say more like 3, he had more size than weight. He definitely had more weight than me. And it wasn't by like let's say 5 pounds. It was a good 10 to 15 pounds, even though I was about 3 inches taller than him.
Duval's from your parts, ain't he? Ain't he from the bridge? Recognize?
No, he's from I believe he's from Long Island, but he spent a lot of time in boxing gyms in the Bronx.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So when I went there was a boxing gym in the Bronx. Some of the guys I knew over there, and we would go, spar over there. Sometimes there'd be pros there, and he was there. So he was like, "Yo, I want to spar that big dude right there," pointing to me. And so I said, "Yeah, sure, man. Shit, that's Lou Duval. Fuck it, I'll do it."
I have to say, you guys are talking about Jacobs, how clearly he's been doing the weight bullying also. He's got a record against Golovkin, now against Canelo. Now, he should be glad that they changed the rules, because the belt that he represents, he would have lost it again. But obviously, I mean, they changed the rules. But like I said yesterday, I think morally the IBF believes that, you shouldn't come in over 170. But since it doesn't make business sense, they changed their rules. Okay, anyhow, so he gets to keep his belt, but he violated the rule that was stipulated. Fair enough. Okay, but like you guys are saying, he probably doesn't want to fight at 175 against light heavies. Now, is also, his punch resistance is brought into question. His punch resistance. Obviously, he doesn't feel comfortable fighting the higher weights because he's weight bullying at 160. Okay, now, is his power grossly overrated also? Because in these last fights, I know he got 2 flash knockdowns against Suleki and Debriachenko, but he hasn't really stopped anybody other than Peter Quillin. Okay, so was Peter Quillin overrated too? In that regard?
Gonzalo.
Peter Quillen was definitely overrated.
Yeah, he's definitely overrated. But
what does that say about Johnny? What does that say about Jacob's power?
To
I
me,
believe
bro,
it's real.
to me, bro, he's got power. He's got power. It's just not some fucking powerhouse David Lemieux Triple G type of shit, bro. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's snappy.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I agree. Yeah, thank you.
It's snappy power.
Sneaky power, exactly. Johnny. No, it's sneaky power. Some people got sneaky, and we could all like maybe we know somebody. Maybe you're that type of person. I don't know, but like we all kind of know somebody who got that fucking sneaky power. It's like next thing you know, you're like, I could take that. The next thing you know, you're like, you're a little bit woozy. You're like, oh shit, this dude
kind of almost recognize that he can catch you really hard and fast with one shot, but not consistently, right? That's what you mean. Like
right.
sneak is what it's one and not so often, but once in a while he can, right?
Well, you got to be able to change the speed up. If you're one of those guys who throws constantly the same,
right,
speed.
change the speed up, man. That's what a lot of these boxers, a lot of their knockouts, their flash knockouts, comes from that. It's changing your speed up, hitting the guy in the right spot. I think Jacobs is more or less like that kind of fighter.
And I think Canelo hits harder. He hits harder, like at a consistent rate. Maybe not as hard as that one sneaky punch that Jacobs might land every now and then. But if Canelo gets comfortable thinking, oh, this is the way this guy, hits, but then all of a sudden relaxes his body, he can get caught with that sneaky, hard, fast shot that he's gonna put.
I think you're right about that, Gonzalo, because the thing about Canelo, him versus Triple G, the first fight and the second fight. The first fight, I always thought when he stood his ground, he did good. And I'm like, why the fuck is this guy not standing his ground? It's when he's backing up, he's doing bad. You saw what he did in the second fight. He stood his ground for the most of the fight. And he had the kind of success that a lot of you guys thought he won the fight. I personally thought he got edged out by a little bit, but I can't really argue too much in terms of the fight. It was that close. So, yeah, he's one of those guys that his power stays consistent throughout his fight. And so he wants to be on the front foot, standing his ground. He wants to be standing his ground in a fight.
Okay, yeah.
All right, can I just interject here? Can I just interject real quick? I got to thank Steven Schneider, who donated via the Super Chat, and he says, what do you guys think about Yard versus Kovalev? Well, we're going to get to that eventually.
I'll tell you what I think. They need to get it made.
Johnny boy, hold on.
Yeah.
I still got other stuff to take care of. Apology Man donated as well, and he says, I'm back. I just did an 11K run. Jesus, 11 miles.
11K run? What does he mean by that? 11K?
11 kilometers, yeah.
Kilometers, okay.
That's really like a 5 miler.
It's not bad. That's good.
He ate 11 Royale with cheeses.
Exactly. And he says, I'm finished now. All right, fantastic. Quags, are you still there? Quags?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we go? Let's get your prediction because
I'm sorry, Quags, man.
We got another call waiting.
Shit, I'm talking like a fucking
motor mouth. No, I had a 9th round TKO, possibly. It could be possibly. How do you say that? Controversial.
Okay.
But other than that, but the one thing I did want to say, what do you think about David Lemieux hurting his damn hand again? It was a hand injury, wasn't it? That's bad news, man. That's how my dad had to stop boxing.
No kidding. Yeah, that's a shame right there, man. This fucking guy, I've seen him hitting the punching bag. There's no technique. Like what Jimmy was saying earlier about varying the speed. This guy doesn't vary the speed. Everything's a home run shot with him. And it wouldn't surprise me is maybe Lemieux, yeah. Or Lemieux, as Stu says. Lemieux. But yeah, so hopefully he's okay, man. Hopefully he's okay.
Exactly, Pete.
Here's a race. We're not, a race to people we're not going to make fun of on this show tonight. That one's going to hit the French.
All right.
But if he touches you, you're going to sleep.
Right?
You're going to sleep.
Yeah, that fucking cement-footed dummy.
Quags,
I'm sorry.
We got to take another phone call, Quags, but thank you for calling, and call again next time, all right, man?
Yes, Quags. Peace, brother.
No worries, fellas.
Peace,
Thanks for having me.
All right, take it easy. Yes, people, everybody call in more often. We got another call. Hold on a second. Let's take it here. I'm waiting to take it. There we go. 929, you're on the line.
Good evening, Mr. BDA. Good evening, gentlemen. This is Virtuoso.
Oh, Virtuoso. Now everybody's calling in. Fantastic. That's what I want to see, man.
Yeah.
Or hear, rather.
Damn. Got the Hall of Fame of the chat room calling in.
That's right.
Virtuoso, how's it going, brother?
Fight prediction. Good,
What's
good.
that? No, he's on a bit of a
Hello?
delay, I think. Yes, I think there's a bit of a delay. Yes, go ahead. Give us your prediction, please, Virtuoso.
Okay, so the way I look at this fight unfolding is like Jacobs, can make it a tough fight. It could be interesting if he doesn't give up his height and reach. I think it's key that he frustrates Canelo with the jab and control the distance, because on the inside, advantage goes to Canelo. But it's always going to be a foregone conclusion. I mean, Jacobs is in no man's land in Vegas, so it's going to be a majority decision. There's only going to be a judge that's going to be charitable, trying to give it to Jacobs for good effort. But that's the way I see the fight happening.
See, some people would say that's a cynical outlook. I would call it a realistic outlook. Like you said, perfectly said, no man's land. He's in no man's land right now. And, hold on a second. All right. Somebody just subscribed.
Oh my God. I was thinking that kid's head going through the window when I hear that song.
All right.
You broke the window again.
On Saturday Night Live?
Roxy, the Night of the Roxy, the two brothers.
Hey BDA, I heard that song. I was going to the Yankee game today, and somebody was blasting that in their car. I'm like, oh shit. Then I'm stuck. I was stuck in traffic, and I couldn't really get too far from him because he had that shit blasted. I'm like,
I don't lie, dude. You were grooving.
Huh?
Don't lie, you were grooving. You were showing the road, dude.
I was like, oh, he was one of those guys that you could tell he's still living in the 80s. Like he's just one of those dudes with gray hair, got the car, He's got
dude, you know what's fucked up? Back in the 80s, I hated all those songs. Like, I was a crazy metalhead, Black Sabbath, fucking all that shit, right? But now I hear that song, I'm like, like I hit start bumping. Like, back then, I would have fucking, acted like an idiot.
You appreciate older songs a little bit more when time goes by. That's how it usually goes. At least for me.
You'll recognize.
Oh, hold on.
Yes,
Virtuoso has a question for Recognize. Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah, since you were at the Yankee game, aren't you sick and tired of hearing YMCA at the middle of the seventh inning?
This is gay. That shit is gay as hell.
Whoa.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't.
They have to switch it up, man. It's been
I don't want to offend nobody.
I mean, they just cancel Kate Smith with that God Bless America because she has a bit of a racist past there. So it's about time they switch it up. It's just fucking corny.
I know. I can't believe they did that. I was like, what? But I fine. But get rid of Then if you're gonna do that, get rid of YMCA. Got to get rid of that song. That song is so corny, man.
It's one of my favorite songs, man. What's the matter with you?
Gay ass fucking song.
Yeah, that's so good.
I like that one. I like It's Raining Men. I Will Survive.
Where you from, Virtuoso? Virtuoso, where you from?
I'm from Washington Heights. I'm from New York. Yes.
Oh.
Up in Manhattan.
Because I recognize the accent, bro. I could
Yeah.
tell.
Would you guys be surprised?
That's what's up.
I was gonna say, would you guys be surprised if Jacobs goes southpaw tonight for a while?
That's a good question.
He could do it.
That's a good question.
He could do it, man.
Jimmy,
Keep that in the back of your mind. Keep that in the back of your mind.
Jimmy, I think he's gonna try it, but he might get eaten with something, and then he'll switch back. That's what I.
Well, you'll know if the body's working, if the body shots not working. It depends on when he switches. If he switches, it's almost usually a tell. If they switch in the fifth or sixth, it's usually because they're getting tired of the liver shot and they want to switch it up.
You just read my mind, man. Exactly. I totally. If you could go southpaw, I have to recant on what I said. They shouldn't. He might want to because he's gonna try to hide his liver on the back foot. You got your lead hand on the front. It's your jab. Is your right hand. So your liver is on your trail foot, and he's gonna probably go southpaw and hide it with his elbow. Boom.
Yeah, I've been around this shit for a while.
Hey, by the way,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. But
here he is.
hold on. Sorry to interrupt. Because hold on, we got. Sorry to interrupt. We'll get to Precise in a couple of seconds. But before we do, Virtuoso, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I just wanted to just say thanks for putting me on, and then shout out to Notorious Boxing because without them without that channel I would not have heard of this channel. They used to watch the videos of Golovkin versus the Canelo, the punch count and the corruption of boxing videos, and it really opened my eyes to what's going on.
That's right. Shout out to Artorius who gave us a shout out, and because of him, a lot of people has found out about us.
He does do good work. He does.
Fantastic.
Hey, Precise, before we get to, I just want to say Precise real quick, dude. The other day, last time I was on, you said you run a farm. I just want to say, dude, for someone who does a tiny little bit of green thumb in my own piece here, how much I respect that. Like, I think that's fascinating. I just wanted to tell you that somebody doing it on a scale like that's crazy. Because I know how hard it is. But anyways, just wanted to say that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's not that big. It's more like a family homestead, but
that's still, dude. It's working the land, knowing people. I understand. That's a knowledge. That's no school for that. You got to know what you're doing. Anyways, I just wanted to say, I that's a rarity. Anyways,
that's Jimmy's
I wish
Irish.
more people would do it.
Jimmy's Irish roots coming to respect somebody. Genetically, he respects somebody that works the land. The Irish people working with the potatoes.
Right, we couldn't even get a fucking potato to fucking go.
Well, hey, by the way, we got a phone call.
Bad. I probably should have said that.
No, don't worry about it.
Shit, I want potatoes right about now.
Hold on. We got a phone call, but before we do that, Precise has been waiting for a while here. Precise, thank you for being on. We talked a bit about the weigh-in. The same day weigh-in. Apparently, everything we were discussing in the past 2 episodes regarding who's a jerk off for making the weight or the counter, whatever. Apparently, Jacobs decided to do whatever he wanted to. So, does this make the fight better now?
Hopefully, I think it will. I mean, he was talking about coming in light anyway, and he just didn't want to. He just wanted to make the weight on his own terms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to be that big anyway, because he's probably going to run for dear life. So. Yeah, it might be a little bit more interesting, But I just wanted to add something real quick about, the same day weigh-ins. They may work in some instances, but you guys aren't looking at it you're not taking an objective look because, look, what's going to happen to all the cruiserweights? All the cruiserweights are going to overnight become heavyweights. So now you're sending guys that are 215, 205 into the ring with guys that are 300 pounds. And you're trying to avoid that.
Can I just say something to it? I personally think there should be a super heavy class myself. I think anybody over 240. Myself, that's just my opinion.
You would have to add another division, but also all the big light heavyweights are going to become heavyweights. Also, that's a big
up the ladder.
problem.
It would be a whole every weight class, right? Pretty much, which is right up the.
Well, thing, yeah, right? but that would be okay, I guess, in the lower weight divisions. But in the higher weight divisions, the weight discrepancy would get bigger. Because there are huge jumps between the divisions, and another thing about same day weigh-in is like these guys can't change the size that they are really, not so it's like you're not really changing anything. They just have to adjust the way they do things, and people will still game the system. People will still be making weight. People will still be drained in the ring because when you think about it, somebody who barely makes 147, all of a sudden he has to become a middleweight, and he's going to be a tiny middleweight, and then there's all these guys. And then there's all these guys that will still rehydrate. So a guy into middleweight will be coming in at like 155, fighting a guy that weighs in at 160, and then rehydrates another 10 pounds because the weigh-ins are still like 12 hours. So you're still gonna have all the same problems, man. That's why they got rid of same-day weigh-ins, is because they were problematic. But that's all I wanted to say, man. It's not that simple, guys.
Well,
so I'm gonna go because it's kind of crowded. Enjoy the fights, and if you want to respond, I'll just listen. So take it easy.
All right.
Have a good one, Precise.
Have a good night, Precise. No, but sometime I'd like to sit down. Not to bore everybody else, but just pick your mind with what you do because I'm fascinated by that. Anyways, brother, have a good evening.
Later, guys.
Yeah,
Later.
Precise. Enjoy the fight. Hopefully, it's a good one or better than we expected. Now that Jacobs is saying "fuck you."
Is he there?
Who?
Who's there?
Is Precise there?
Yeah, he was here just
No.
Once upon a time.
He's in South America, man.
No, he He lives in South America.
Oh yeah, that's right. He said it's crowded in this joint. I was like, oh, is he there?
Yeah, precise South America. I'm in the Philippines, recognized in New York. Johnny's in Chicago. Yeah,
it's international.
Okay, so
BDA Boxing.
You got Johnny Boy. He's either in Chicago or Milwaukee. Pete's in Florida.
Johnny.
That's my second hometown.
BDA in Canada, up in the true north.
That's right. The only
Jimmy,
north.
you got Jimmy from Boston. My sports rival.
Wait. Hold on. Before we continue, recognize this. You're telling the whole list, the whole international list.
Talking too much shit. That's what it is.
All right, before we go, because we only got 12 minutes on the blog talk, so I want to take a couple of phone calls. We got 203. You're on the line. 203.
Connecticut.
203 representing New Haven. It's Revolution. What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, Revolution.
What's going on?
What's up, homie?
I like saying
fellow New Englander.
What's up? What's up?
Well, let me tell you what's up.
Fellow New Englander.
Yo, first of all, Jimmy, hold up. First of all, Jimmy, go Bruins. Go Bruins.
Nice, brother. Nice. God bless.
Go Islanders.
Secondly,
go Hawks.
Secondly, I just want to make my prediction.
Yes, please.
I'm going to make my prediction real quick. Unanimous decision for Canelo. Jacobs is going to feel the power and just run away and do the jab all night. Had a couple Puerto Rican dudes from Queens come into my store earlier. I got the predictions from them. KO round 5 and KO round 8, if anybody gives a fuck.
Well, let me tell you something. I'll give you my predict. You know what? When two Puerto Ricans come into your store, I know the prediction there. I know how it's going to end up. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the bottle off the shelf. I know.
Pow, pow, pow.
And that's about it, really. I just want to get and I want to just something on my mind I want to get off my chest. I just want to do a little quick apology. Last time I was on, we started going on Danny Jacobs and the whole doing some cancer jokes. So if anybody, got a little bummed out by that, I am sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about. I remember that.
At the same time, that was on me. I'll take all responsibility. But, at the same time, I got to say humor really is something sacred. And we should joke about everything, because once one thing becomes off limits, then it's a slippery slope. And soon enough, we can't even laugh about it. Donnie Stevenson.
I was very offended, Revolution. I'm dying.
No matter if you offend people, you have the right to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny Boy is dying. Okay.
Exactly.
How dare you, Revolution?
Well, he shouldn't have smoked all the fucking Marlboros in his life. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump up. I'm literally about to pull in. I'm literally about to pull into the fucking drive-thru at Taco Bell.
All right,
and
fantastic.
That's gonna be my.
There you go, man.
Don't forget to pull out at the end of the night, man.
Or Gordita Crunch with cheese.
Yeah, BDA,
that's what I get.
Man. Is there anything on the secret menu? Is there anything
come on.
on the secret menu at Taco Bell that I don't know about, BDA?
Come on, man. Are you gonna ask me? You're gonna ask me.
Shut the fuck up!
No, I don't.
You gotta ask the Mexican.
Yeah, you gotta ask the Mexican, Revolution. Come on. No, I don't know, Revolution. Don't forget to pull out at the end of the night. All right, take it easy, man. Thanks for calling in.
Tell them don't forget my order.
Quesadilla.
Peace out. Yeah, quesadilla, yeah. Oh, we got Johnny, too.
Gordita Crunch with cheese.
He's coming out, Johnny! He's coming out, Johnny!
All right.
Come on, Johnny!
Let's get through these phone calls. Let's go through these phone calls. We got another phone call, 623. You're on the line, 623.
Hey, what it do? What's happening?
Yes.
What's happening?
Indeed.
What's up, brother?
Nah, I'm just calling in because I see a lot of people saying that this is going to be an easy fight. Canelo's going to knock Jacobs out. This fight is a lot closer than people think.
Thank you.
That's all I wanted to say. You feel me?
I agree with that.
But who you?
I
Okay.
hope it is too.
Well, hold on a second. It's close. Yeah.
What top elite fighter has Canelo knocked out?
An elite fighter that
That's
Canelo.
a good point. That's a good point.
It is a good point because everybody's picking him.
That Canelo's knocked out.
No, I'm not saying.
I'm
not. Yeah, he's saying
okay.
Canelo, and I'm not saying that Jacobs is an elite fighter, but I get his point.
It's a good point.
For today's fighters, yeah, you'd have to put him up there, right? I mean, he is. Oh, and brother, not to be that dude, but the Islanders were knocked out in 4 last night.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
all right, listen.
That's what I said.
I didn't know if you knew that. I'm like, fuck. Because I like the Islanders. I do.
I'm not a
I want to
hockey
ask.
fan.
Hold on, because we only got
I
seven.
knew they got knocked out.
We only got 7 minutes
Go
left
ahead.
on. We only got seven
Sorry, go
minutes
ahead.
left with the caller. So, caller, I'm curious. Who are you picking for this fight?
I got Jacob split decision.
Oh, finally we got a fucking.
Listen, man, that's a man, right? That's a man of his conviction.
I mean, dude,
it's
I'm
in
clapping.
his brain. It's in his
That's right.
brain. So
like
Going
I said
against the
before,
tide.
What fighter has he knocked out that's elite? He's been knocking out Khan, James Kirk.
If you don't mind me, can I
knocked
ask
out
you? Oh, I'm
Lara,
sorry, I'm
Crouch.
having a delay. He was probably talking. Can I ask you? Do you think that Jacobs will has enough to bring it and take it from him in Nevada? So, I mean, let's be honest. He's going to have to really work Canelo. Do you think he has that in him to do it? Straight question.
Well, put it this way: we've never seen Canelo fight another big middleweight. Only Gennady. We don't know. You feel me?
Yeah.
We don't know how he's gonna do.
But
He's been
hold
fighting
on.
Rocky Fielding, but Fielding was. Who is he, dude?
Soft.
He looks like he
soft.
fucking like dived.
Yeah, but it's not
dived
it's
with
not
his
that
body
simple.
shot.
It's not a simple question. The question you asked not that easy to answer. Because Golovkin, there was no way in hell he was gonna knock him out because Golovkin just has an exceptional chin, and Cotto was only stopped by the great Manny Pacquiao and Antonio Margarito, two notoriously known, one a pressure fighter and one a power puncher with the high punch activity in Pacquiao. It's not that easy to answer because he did take out Rocky Fielding, a 168 pounder that was soft, like recognizes saying, and Amir Khan and Jim Kirtland were notoriously known for having glass chins. But it's not that easy to answer because also when he was younger, he stopped Carlos Baldomir, El Tata from Argentina, and
All
that
right.
guy had never been stopped before. And all the
Let's
other
let.
fights in between,
But
when
here's
he
the
stopped
thing, though.
Josecito Lopez to the body, and Matthew Hatton, and when they stopped Perangulo, which had a good chin, but they threw in the towel or whatever. I mean, that's just been his career,
All right.
It's
Let the
not that
caller.
easy to answer. He definitely has power.
All right, Gazelle.
We're
Let
gonna
the
see
caller.
later.
Let the caller respond. Go ahead, caller.
Here's the thing, dude. The thing is that we've seen Canelo hit Angulo with everything, and he couldn't knock him down. We've seen him hit Chavez drained Chavez Jr. with everything. We've seen him hit Canelo. We've seen him hit Golovkin with his hardest shots. I just don't think he has enough power to knock out 190-pound Jacobs.
Well, I'm curious. I'm curious because you're one of the guys that's speaking, one of the few guys that's speaking Jacobs. And by the way, Ring TV did they did a poll for writers, and it was 18-2 for Canelo. So my question to you, caller, is just real quickly break it down. How is Jacobs going to win this fight? What is he going to do? How is he going to do it?
His reach. I think that's going to be a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I really think he can hurt Canelo too. Keep him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, do you think my thing is that Jacobs has a very dangerous overhand right? Do you think that punch might be a factor in the fight?
Yes, I think he's a more dangerous fight than Golovkin stylistically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see, man. You got balls for picking Jacobs because everybody's, including myself, we're going for the safe decision. But you're going for Jacobs, so shout out to you, man.
It's a lot closer than people think. People calling in saying,
"Oh wait, you're picking Jacobs?"
Like if Jacobs is a bum.
Well, no, nobody's saying that Jacobs is a bum. Again, let me just reiterate. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I don't think people are picking Canelo because Jacobs is a bum. But they're just saying there's too many factors against him to get the decision. That's what people are saying.
BDA, let me say something to the caller real quick.
I get it.
All right, go ahead, Johnny boy. Go ahead.
About the knockout, though. I don't think he's going to stop him or knock him out.
Hey, caller. Yeah, no, I think, bro, me personally, I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. And I just see Canelo edging out the decision. I think he's going to have his fucking hands full on, my man.
Yeah. I got to reply also. When you make the example about Julio Cesar Chavez, he wasn't as drained as when Chavez fought Maravilla Martinez because this was at a catchweight at 164. When he fought Martinez, he was going down to 160 like 1 or 2 years prior. Now, 164, it's a good comparison, like the fight today with Jacobs, because this is what Jacobs came in right around right now. But in Chavez, he's still rehydrated to like 185. As a young fighter, yeah, he was dehydrated, but he was still able to rehydrate the day of the fight to where, he was competitive, to withstand the punishment because he's still young, and he's always shown that has a good chin because he inherited the genes from his father. You know, the only time that Julio Cesar Chavez got stopped was by the
All right, all
175
right.
pounder.
Stick to the Gonzalo.
But
Sorry to interrupt,
anyhow,
but stick to the point. Yeah, stick to the point. Speak to the point, Gonzalo, because you're talking about
That's
Chavez now.
true. But like, come on, man.
No, yeah, yeah.
Chavez
Well,
looked like a
Chavez
dead
has
man
always
walking
had a
the
good
way
chin.
in.
In other words, he didn't stop Chavez, although he was dehydrated. I mean, he's a weight bully. He's known to dehydrate himself and rehydrate the day of the fight, where
Yeah.
he can still pull it off because he's still relatively young. I mean, Chavez had never been stopped before, other than Andres Fanfara, but that was due to fatigue.
Right.
Yeah, that's
All
what
right.
I'm trying to say.
Well,
So
caller.
like here and there, and if you all his fights, you know, you can, it's not an easy question to answer as far as if you're trying to define how Canelo's power is against a real middleweight.
Well,
I mean,
we'll
he's
see,
got good
man.
power.
We'll see. We'll see today against the Jacobs, who's gonna have rehydrated up to close to 180. Caller, we got 1 minute and a half left on the call. So, any last thing you want to say before we go?
That's all I want to say, man. Keep the show going. Best show on YouTube.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you for the praise, man.
Salute there.
All right.
All right, salute 623. Fantastic call. Finally, have somebody that picked Jacobs. And again, it's not because people are saying Jacobs is a bum, but it's just that there's too many factors. But it should be, like I said, my prediction was Canelo by very,
90
very close.
seconds.
Ah, you fucking. You know what?
Shut up!
All right, hold on a second. Let me just.
Don't talk to a, don't talk to a lady like that. That's wrong.
You have 90 seconds to flick my bean.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna end the episode because we only got a. All right, so just for everybody that's.
Thank you for using Blog
All right.
Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, so
Bro,
we're off
shut up,
Blog
lady.
Talk.
Hey, my girlfriend wants to bet on Jacobs like stoppage. I'm like, are you crazy, man? She's like, I have a good feeling. I'm like, oh, come on, man.
Hey, your girlfriend might be onto something. You
I
should
don't
do
know,
it.
man. Nah. Me,
Yeah, I
I
don't
want
think
to bet on the stoppage, but I don't know if Jacobs going to be on the back foot, man, because I'm telling you, once he feels that power, man, he's going to be fucking backing up, man, like in the Golovkin fight, man. At the end, he was just fucking on the back foot, and like from time to time, he would fucking like ambush fucking Golovkin, but mostly he was on the survival mode, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Did Canelo say to Danny Jacobs, go fuck your mother?
Yeah,
Chinga tu
I
madre.
think he,
Chinga su madre, yeah.
No, he said, "Te voy a partir la madre."
Nah,
I'm
nah,
gonna
nah,
split your
nah,
wig
nah,
open.
nah. Let's
He
be
said
real.
chinga
Let me play.
He said chinga tu madre.
Yeah,
Let
he
me
did
play.
say chinga su madre.
Let me
Yeah,
play
he
to you.
did.
Don't
Yeah,
say
let
no
me-
fuck,
yeah.
Gonzalo.
I can play you what he
Don't say
said.
no fuck, Gonzalo.
Guys,
you know
guys,
that's
guys.
you know
I
that
can-
Canelo has a filthy mouth.
I can play
Yeah,
you what
but
he
when you
said.
translate it, the connotation changes.
No,
It's
he
like pretty
wasn't.
much he
Canelo.
said,
I know that.
"Fucking go to
Gonzalo.
hell." I'm
Here's
gonna
what he
kick
said.
your ass.
I got it right
No,
here.
no,
Here's
you
what he
see-
said. Here's hold on. Here's what he said. Come on.
Wait, let
Eso es miedo. No tengo nada que decir. Solamente como lo voy a decir en español para que todos se me entiendan porque es puro mexicano. Que chingue a su madre.
That's right. Come on, Gonzalo. He's saying go fuck your mother, man. Come
Yo,
on.
Gonzalo.
No. He said
No,
que
but
chingas
you know
tu
what?
madre.
No, he said.
chinga tu madre pretty much means go to hell. It's not like
No,
go to-
No,
I
not
thought
que chingas.
I
Not
thought
que
it meant go.
chingas,
I thought it meant go
Gonzalo.
fuck your mother.
He said that. He said que chingue a su madre.
Yeah,
Que
yeah,
chingas
that's
tu
what I
madre,
thought.
right?
Que chingas
So
su
like
madre.
he's adding a little emphasis on the que chingas tu madre. Now if you would say
Que
Danny
chingas.
Jacobs chinga tu madre, I would have said okay, that's maybe him saying go to hell.
I don't care how many Dago, Guinea, what greaseball goombas come out of the woodwork.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what he said,
but-
too.
I told you,
Yeah.
BDA. If you want a wartime consigliere, you got to call my lawyer, Tom Hagen. I told
That's
you.
right.
Jacobs was also talking shit though. He said he was gonna split his wig open. He was gonna fuck him up.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
not
was
nice.
talking shit. Yeah, split his wig, and that's like disrespectful talk.
No, the thing is, Jacob said that motherfucker, something like that. And Canelo understood.
Yeah, exactly.
That motherfucker. So
Yeah.
He came back with a chinga tu madre.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Like but he did say when you say que, and you know that Gonzalo, you know that's right. When
No,
somebody
yeah,
says
yeah, but
que,
Mexicans
that's like
throw
emphasizing.
around that word lightly a lot. They throw around the chinga tu madre word lightly around.
That's
Well,
true.
you just
They
said
just
it.
speak.
Chinga tu madre without the que. Chinga tu madre. He said it like that.
I got a question for Bucho and Gonzalo and Recognize because all you do is Spanish, bro. I got a question, like, because I can catch some of the words just because I was always around a lot of Spanish folks growing up, but I can catch a few words here
Poor
and there.
you.
but no, do the dialects change like they do in Italian? Like if you go to fucking, if you're Mexican, you go to fucking Dominican Republic, you ain't gonna be able to. Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I figured.
Of course, yeah. Look, that's interesting.
Some sound similar, like Cubans and Puerto Ricans, we sound a lot alike. Even Dominicans, the only thing, the difference between Dominicans is they're real fast when they talk most of the time. But when they slow it down, we all, like Dominican, Cuba, and Puerto Rico, we kind of almost sound alike.
All the islands. Yeah,
especially the country, the dudes that come from the countryside, they definitely all sound alike.
Yeah, an interesting fact about the Philippines here is they got 175, I believe, dialects, more than any other country in the world. So specifically here, they change more than any other place, Johnny.
Gonzalo, in Italy, there's 55 fucking dialects. Now, Italy's a small little, Italy's like the size of Cali, bro.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to Italy. I've been to Italy, Ireland. I've been to Germany.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask a question. Who do you, hey guys? Who do you think is faster? Who do you think has faster reflexes? Canelo or Danny Jacobs?
Canelo.
Canelo.
Yeah.
I think he has faster reflexes than most guys. Oh, go ahead. Boxing style.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, what's the odds on a knockout?
The odds on a knockout? Shit, I forgot. Canelo, it's like. Fuck, I forgot. Let me check. I was watching Bet365. Oh, I have it right here. Canelo stoppage is 2.4.
What's
2.4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing. No, I was going for round 10 because it's 28-1. That's a good bet.
Yeah, I got round 10 too.
No, I'm gonna pick a round.
Nah, man, don't pick the round. It's too hard to fucking tell. Just go with the knockout.
Black or red, Bucho? Black or red?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just pick 10 round knockout, 28-1. Trust me, that's what I got.
Round 10 is 28-1. I got a good feeling, man, guys. Round 10, 28-1.
All right, Bucho.
That's what I bet. That's my prediction.
Bucho, just go knockout, bro. Don't pick around.
2.4. Then I gotta put a bunch of money there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bucho, how drunk are you
I know
right
you
now?
guys don't like Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso, but I actually think he's a good trainer. They make a good team.
I like
him and Canelo.
Come on.
Yeah, right.
I like Reynoso.
I doubted that Reynoso after the Mayweather fight, but I don't think it was their fault. I just think, Canelo was just too green, But now I can see that the Reynosos, I mean, let's be honest, they're the good trainers. I agree. They're the good trainers.
I ain't got nothing against them, Gonzalo. All I said was tell your fat ass to quit wearing medium t-shirts. That's
yeah, that's Mexicans for you. Especially
what do you guys think? I mean, Canelo has improved, right? Do you disagree with this?
No, of course, because he's just coming into his own. He's in the prime of his prime.
That's right. And he has the best pharmaceuticals in the business too, so let's not forget that.
Yeah. It was interesting that they're playing those commercials, the Tecate, where they're grilling, they're cooking that steak. When he got busted for Combuterol, when they came out with those commercials, that was just an irony, right? They're cooking the steaks, and you got Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, because they came out in the commercials too, or am I mistaken? But it was just funny.
Yeah, they were mocking. They were mocking for sure the whole thing with Canelo.
All right, listen, fellas.
Hey, yo, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, BDA.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what time does the prelim start? You said the 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so now it's 9.
It's been started.
It started now.
Huh? I heard 7.
That's where we gotta go now.
Pacific time. What time is it over there? Right?
So I'm gonna hit the bar, man. I got some chiquito to talk to.
Well,
that's right.
One thing I could say about that commercial, real quick. If you got buddies who doing if Canelo had a friend, one of them should have said, "Dude, listen, because you don't know when you're speaking a different language, it's not your first. Sometimes you don't know how to." And I would have been like, "Dude, you got to throw a little bass in your voice." You know what I mean? He's kind of squeaky when he talks in English. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't probably even know any better. Like Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah. Hey, guys. You guys know.
Mike Tyson.
Hey, just just to correlate about speaking a different language. You guys know Golovkin is not speaking English no more. He's doing his interviews solely in his language. And he just also
Speaks
just
Russian,
to add
right?
to that real quick, he also put out a statement that for Albo Sanchez not to call him that he lost his son no more. Don't call me son. He just put that out.
Listen, Golovkin is pissed off. He's disillusioned with the sport. If you guys watch Game of Thrones, he was like Ned Stark, an honorable man. But then he just realized that the sport is corrupt. And
I think he's turning into a diva, man. Bucho, he's turning into a diva, man. The money's that the zone money. That's what it will do to you. It got to Joshua, it got to Canelo, and now it's getting to Golovkin, man.
He wants a payday and fuck off, which is understandable.
But I think that this not speaking in English, which he was taking classes. He was really trying to. But yeah, no, wicked disillusion. That's not a rumor. That's 100% fact. He is pissed off. He just realizes like fuck it. But you know what? Again, he should have fucking went to the body more. That's my thing. But
good point.
I'm going to say from now on, go fuck yourself in my Russian language.
Imagine he says that to the reporters that the only thing I'm going to say in English is go fuck yourself.
Translate that the right way, bitch. Go
Does anybody know anything about his new trainer? He announced today.
Yeah, it's what's this? Jonathan Banks. Yeah.
He used to be a cruiserweight, right? He was a cruiserweight contender.
I think Golovkin got pissed off because of that. What Abel Sanchez said right after that Canelo's second fight. He said like Canelo hats off to Canelo.
Who did he train before?
That's the biggest reason.
Yeah, Klitschko.
Klitschko, right? That's why.
All I want to hear.
Who else? Terry Norris.
Yeah, all I want to hear is Triple G say after he knocks somebody out is "Excuse my friend, he's dead tired." That's all I want to hear.
He speaks German too, I guess. Triple G speaks a lot of German.
Yo, my fucking aunt,
very smart guy, man.
My Puerto Rican aunt, dog. She speaks Spanish, Italian, and fucking English, dog.
Whoa.
Yeah, I could understand Italian and speak it somewhat too, because it's anything
very
with Latin,
similar. Yeah, it's a Latin-based language.
Portuguese,
by the way,
get it. I could have a conversation in Portuguese.
By the way, Precise in the chat room is saying Golovkin is sour, bitter, and salty. That sounds like my mother-in-law's pussy. But listen, we gotta go because it's 9:30 right now. It's 9:30 right now. We do have to go. All right. So I hate to be a stickler about this, but anybody want to change their prediction before we go?
Why, is something going to happen to somebody if they're off or something?
Oh yeah. If you get a bad prediction, you're out.
Oh, you're done. Beat it.
That's it.
BDA's become more of like a dictator. He says like if we don't get 50% of our predictions right, he's gonna kick us off the fucking.
yeah. I'm turning into Abel Sanchez.
Jacob's gonna bust up Peter Quill and he's gonna knock Canelo out in the first round.
BDA, real quick. If I was billing this fight, it would be called Ginger Panda versus chemotherapy.
Ginger Panda versus Jesus,
John. Bad. You're a bad man. You're a bad person.
Revolution. That's how you make a cancer joke. No, I'm kidding. All right. So I think we've said it all here. I think this is a great way to.
We're gonna end it. We just end it on that note.
Yeah, let's just end it on that note. But
let's hope for a good fight tonight. That's all. Let's hope an exciting fight.
Man. I hope for a good fight. I can't predict what's gonna happen, but
all right, fellas. Ginger Panda. Peace.
Ginger Panda. All right. So thanks everybody. Thanks everybody. Everybody in the hangout.
Stop. Fucking Jacobs gets knocked out in the fourth round.
That's what you're hoping for.
No, I'm not open for that shit.
No, not open for that.
I want a 12-round fight, actually.
We had everybody in the house today. We had Pete, we had Recognize, we had Stu, we had Jimmy, we had Precise for a little while. We had Gonzalo, we had Johnny Boy. Oh, hold on a second. Nicole E just donated via the super chat. Jonathan Banks, he says, is a prick. Triple G's new trainer. No, not Jonathan Banks. No, yeah, what's his name? Jonathan Banks? He used to be a cruiserweight, right? Cruiserweight contender as well. But I don't understand why he's saying he's a...
Did he train Klitschko before Manny Stewart?
I
heard Klitschko was his...
After I think. After Emil Stewart.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about Sanchez earlier when I said Terry Norris. So sorry, let me correct that.
Don't
Hey,
worry
everybody,
about it.
have a great night, man.
You too,
See you,
Jimmy.
Jim. Peace.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. Fantastic show. You guys make this show. It's not the same without you guys. And
I'm
so
out,
thank,
guys.
and thanks for making the
Adios.
predictions. All right, and Boxing Style, the return of Boxing Style. Good to have him back. All right, and what else was I gonna say? So yeah, you better pray tonight that your predictions are correct. Otherwise, kicking you to the curb.
Who's
We
this
gotta
guy? What's his name? Scalebender?
Scalebender,
What's
yeah,
up,
that's me.
What's up? Are you fat or something, bro? Your name is
Yeah.
Scalebender?
Yeah,
Obesity.
fat bastard.
All right.
Hey,
We gotta-
BDA, listen, I will say one thing here.
Yes.
Good calls tonight, man, and I'm glad people from the chat are calling in, man, because there's some knowledgeable guys in that chat, hardcore guys.
Absolutely, man. I agree.
And it's good. They should call in every show, man. All of them should.
Especially Dolores. She has to call in, and she owes me an apology for being so. She yaps too much.
You gotta get a little easy on Dolores, man. She gives you the pussy.
No. Somebody has to set her straight. She needs a man to set her straight. So that's gonna be me. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that donated to the super chat: John Gonzalez, Steven Schneider, Apology Man, Nicole E. Shout out to you guys. You keep the gravy train rolling. We're gonna get. By the way, this is how we keep the calls active because we do have to pay for that every month. So thanks a lot, guys, for the contributions. It really helps a lot, so that we can continue to take quality calls like yours. And that's about it, man. Hope you enjoy the fights, and we'll see you either tomorrow or on Monday. All right. So take it easy, fellas. Have a good night. Enjoy the fights.
MCs reaching for my style,